And there's the red light saying go. Everybody got the red? Everybody
Red.
got the red light. We good to go. And there is Henry trying to come in again, Henry.
No, he in here now. He got it
You in
fixed.
there, so we ain't gonna leave that one out. We go you off in here. So with that being said, hello everyone. I am Paul Wizzo. Want to welcome you out to Wizzo Talk. We appreciate you tapping in. This is going to be a long podcast, but it's going to be very fun and full of a lot of shit. So you like to subscribe to Wizzo Talk? The link is in the description or strolling right there across the bottom of the screen. Once you hit subscribe, be sure to hit that notification bell because I post according to my guest availability rather than on a fixed schedule. So we don't want you to miss out on anything. So make sure you hit that notification bell. You like to be a guest on Wizzo Talk? By all means, I'm clearing my damn throat here. Right at this time during my intro. You like to be a guest on Wizzo Talk? By all means, just reach out to me, send me a smoke signal, carry a pigeon, whatever you got to do. And don't worry about a topic because we keep plenty of topics and we would love to have you on the show. If you're watching this from Facebook, by all means, click the link in the description and subscribe to my YouTube channel. I appreciate your support on that. So we're going to meet our guests and then we're going to get this going and make sure y'all be standing by because it's going to be on. And we're just going to start from the right top. And Jason, come on with it.
Yeah, Jason, frequent guest. Like being on the show. I'm happy to be here today, especially talking about this particular subject. Try to do what I can to contribute in a positive manner. Thanks for having
All
me.
right. All right. That's what's up. Dr. Savant, the seventh.
Hello everyone. It's Dr. Devon here yet again. It's an honor to be here with everybody. I would like to say if you want to check out any of my boy's artwork, check out After Real Truth, all one word. You can even check out his Facebook page, Sevens and More, and feel free to send him a message and let him know if he wanted some graphic design work done. I know he usually doesn't talk about that, but he does all his own designs. And if you would like any work done for anything for yourself personally, no matter what it is, you can hit him up. You know what I'm saying? So thank you all again. It's an honor to be here.
Right. Okay. All right. Come on there, Chocolate Buddha. Chocolate Buddha.
Let me go ahead and click in. Can you hear me?
Oh, we hear you. I thought you had froze up. Yeah, we hear you.
Yeah, I froze up because I'm missing bandwidth being cheap. This chocolate Buddha. I'm definitely glad to be here. As everybody know that this is one of my big topics, so I'm looking for the engagement. That's why I wore my cowboy hat. Looking for some shit to be started, and I'm ready to ride it through all the way to the end. So let's get it. Again, just happy to be on Wizzo Talk. I'm glad that you started this platform. Even though we're going to have a lot of fireworks going on, it's a lot of education that's going to be going on here. So tune in and get a pen because education is going to begin. Cool.
Oh, all right. Let's come on with it there, Pokey the Bear. Poke the Bear.
Yeah. I'm in here today. I must apologize ahead of time. I am going to, as they say, release the Kraken on somebody in here. No hurt feelings, but I'm coming to get you. And I think I'm gonna stop right there because I'm a little anxious. So yeah.
All right. That's what's up. Shots fired, as I said a while ago, off in the intro. There's been shots fired throughout all of the podcasts. So, Miss Phil, come on with it.
Hello. I am excited to be here and I am looking forward to conversing with these friends about various ideas. And I am looking forward to the sparring session. This is going to be really, really fun.
Right. That's what's up. And Phil, just to let you know, so you are the only female as of now, but I did have another one, but something came up and she had to cancel. So let's go ahead on down here and meet John.
How y'all doing? My name's John. Been on Wizzo's Talk a couple times now. I just enjoy the environment and like having tough conversations with people. So here I am.
All right, that's what's up. And the newcomer again, right here. Well, not again. The newcomer, Henry. Come on with it.
And my name is Henry. I am 95% deaf, so if you guys come at me with it, you can miss me because I probably won't even hear it. I am a co-author of a best-selling book called More Than Love Notes and Laughter. It's about communication in the relationship. So I'm excited. I've seen some of the shows. I'm a little excited to see what happens.
All right, that's what's up. Yeah, I've been appreciate you. I've been appreciate you following me. And when you said relationship, I'm working on one right now. So I might have to try to see if you're available. We're gonna try to schedule that for July the 8th. I'm trying to work
Absolutely.
on a relationship podcast. So with that being said, we got all of that out the way. Shots has been fired. I'm going to read a little bit of something. Then I'm going to call on my first guy to or lady to go ahead and tell where they stand and how they stand, and we're gonna rock and roll with this. So a while back, Phil came up and she asked a question about the man versus the bear. I never heard of it, and I asked my youngest son, who's like 27, 28, about it. He said he heard about it. I never heard of it. So the long story short on that, I wound up choosing the bear. Then prior to that, Pokey Poke the Bear had took some notes and everything like that, and he came on one of the sessions and he was asking me some questions about it. He had a whole lot of numbers and a whole lot of stats and a whole lot of this. And during that time, Chocolate Buddha was off in the comments and all that stuff. So I felt as though that was almost a podcast in the damn comments going on. So with that being said, so I assembled everybody. I have no idea where a lot of you guys stand on that topic, but normally I don't even give anybody the topic. Normally it's just like barbershop talk. We just come on, we start talking about stuff. However, this time I wanted everybody to do their own research if they wanted to on whatever. So I just did a little something. I'm gonna read that, then I'm gonna call on my first person. So the man versus the bear. That's our little topic. It's saying if you're stuck in the woods alone, would you rather encounter a random man or random bear? And then it went on to say that many women have stated that if they were if they were mauled by a bear, society will have immediate sympathy for them. If they were assaulted by a man, they fear that they will face intense public scrutiny regarding what they were wearing and whether they provoked it. Many men found the question insulting, arguing that the vast majority of men are not violent predators, and they're assuming that a random man is dangerous as a wild bear is fucking crazy. And my last thing right here that I said, estimated 443,635 people ages 12 and older experience sexual violence each year in the United States. And that's number is not totally accurate because it said it's not counting the ones that do not report it. What we're going to do now, and before I go ahead and call on my first person, y'all, the comments is over here. And if you like to, Poke, I got you twice for some reason, that other one. So if you like to, y'all can check out the comments. And if you like to post in the comments, you have to open up another window because if you post any of the comments, then they're going to come in our private chat. So that'd be John and Henry, and the rest of you guys know that you can always open up another window and address the people that's in the chat. So with that being said, all that being said, what I want to do right now, first, I want to go over to Chocolate Buddha. And Chocolate Buddha, use off in the comments that time with Poke was going on. So I'd like to start with you, and we're going to work our way down the list and see what's going on. So what you got for us?
First of all, I want to address Poke the Bear because I know you was talking about me. We've been going back and forth, and before I get off in your ass, I want to say I really appreciate everything you've been posting, and actually, there's a lot of stuff I agree with you. I know you don't believe that, but there's a lot of stuff I agree with you on. The problem where we don't sit parallel is the issue behind it, because the fact of the matter is the problem is not the good guys in the room and in the areas that's offended by it. It's the bad guys that do the stuff and the good guys don't catch them. So just to give you a little background on me and why I'm so focused on this is that my job is dealing with predators and predatory behavior. I've been doing this for over 2 decades, going on 3 decades. And unfortunately, the majority of the perpetrators of sexual violence is men predicating on females. And the ones that do it are the ones that pretend to be the good guys until they catch them by themselves and they let down their mask. The other part of this is that the women who normally would choose a bear versus man are women who have dealt with this their whole lives. And one of the things that I was trying to talk about in the comments was that When men grow up, we never talk about how we have to be careful about women or other men attacking us. Women, when they grow up, usually from the time that they can walk, they're told how to not be by themselves, how to use their keys as weapons, how to make sure their skirts are not too low, how to never be in a dark place, how to always protect themselves. And this is the mentality they have. So when it comes to a man versus bear, they've been preconditioned to be afraid of all men. This is not saying that all men are bad, but the situation is majority of the times that they're by themselves, they are perceived to be weak and to be taken advantage of. Now, this is a gray area because there's a lot of men. That's why I pick on Pope, but I mean this with all sincerity. There's a lot of men that would never, and I stress this, that would never rape a woman. There's a lot of men out there, if the situation came down, they would stop this shit. They would not just fight a man, they would fight a fucking bear to take care of a woman. But the sad reality is there's a lot of men out there that see a woman as an opportunity to put numbers on the scoreboard, meaning, hey, this is my opportunity to look good in front of the guys. That looks good to me, not as a woman, but as something, as a trophy to get. So I'm going to do this and I'm going to brag about it. I'm going to do this, and the people I'm going to brag about it is not going to talk bad to me because it's going to uplift me. And at the same time, it's going to bring that woman down. So when we talk about man versus bear, we're not really talking about this animal that we know that would kill a man and a woman. We're talking about this man who objectifies women and has people scared to the point that we don't know who's the good guy and who's the bad guy. So that's the problem that we have when we talk about man versus bear. We're not talking about a good man versus a bad bear. We're talking about societal norms that men have, not just in America. It's even worse in Europe and the other countries versus a bear that we know. All right, Pope, I'm ready for you to give me that kick, bro. I got my cowboy hat.
We don't have Poke yet, but first I got me a little order right here. I'm gonna hold on.
All right, I'm sorry.
I know he's taking some notes. I know a couple other people. So what I want to do is I want to go to Henry first and see what Henry thoughts on what's been said so far and about the man versus the bear.
Well, I gotta admit, the first time I heard the question in my ignorance, I said the woman must not have seen the bear. Because I've been in the country and I've seen bears, and when they stand up, they're like 7, 8, 9 foot tall, you know. And then when they explained it to me, what the issue was, I first thought of my daughter and my wife. And I thought, well, what would I want them to do? Now, my daughter is a straight baller, so good luck. And then with my wife, she's a baller too, so good luck with her as well. But there's a lot of women out there that, and I got to be very careful how I say this, they, in my house, there's a saying in this house, this family fights. So I think that a lot of times what happens is that in the real world, so to speak, the women are taught to be dainty and I want to say super feminine. They can't do anything. The man's always going to be there to pull them out of all this stuff. And I think that we need to focus more on empowering women so that they know that when a man tries to step, you punch him in the throat, like right off the bat. And I think that would start the conversation going more towards empowering the women. And I thought that's the takeaway I took away from the man versus bear thing. I automatically went to, and I'm a very bullet points kind of guy, so I automatically went to how are we going to solve this problem? Because I know for a fact that if any guy that I even associate with knew of a person, a woman, that got sexually assaulted, you better hope the cops got there before they did. You know, and I think that when the man versus bear first came out, a lot of the good guys took offense because it became so widespread, and it was just a man, you know, like he was saying earlier. And it's more focused on the men that would do things like this, which thankfully is a much smaller number than I think a lot of people are led on to believe it would be. Because I also have to, on the other side, and I hope I'm not taking up too much time, but to play devil's advocate, I have also been in a situation where I had driven a girl home from a party where she slept with a guy, regretted it, and then was confronted about it later on from somebody else and said, "Oh, I got drunk and he took advantage of me." Girl, you were not drunk. I drove you home. Like, you know what I mean? And so I think there's a lot of miscommunication and like you was talking about earlier, disappointing conversations that don't want to be had. But I think we do really need to focus on empowering the women and getting back to the men treating the women, you know, the opening the doors and I forgot what it's called, but it's where
Chivalry.
chivalry. Get back to chivalry and getting back to what it takes for a man to lead a woman and not have to feel like they have to overpower a woman that they see just to take what they want. And I
Right.
think once we have that conversation, a lot of the other conversations will take care of themselves.
Right. Okay, that's what's up. Let's see what Phil. What's your comments and thoughts so far on what's been said?
Um, I agree completely with what our first speaker, Chocolate Buddha, right,
Yeah.
said, and most of what our second gentleman said. Not everything, but most of it.
Okay.
It it goes back to that analogy that I heard online, you know, about the pieces of chocolate. How if you have 100 pieces of chocolate, and I say these are chocolate pieces of chocolate, but 10 of the 100 pieces are shit covered pieces of chocolate. So you enjoy this bowl of chocolate. Now, with you as a man, would you eat all the just eat the chocolate at random, or would you not even fool with the bowl at all, or would you take a chance that the pieces that you chose are not the shit covered chocolate ones? I mean, the chocolate covered shit ones. That's the analogy that women are using when it comes to dating, because every man for a woman isn't a predator, but every predator for a woman is a man. And that's something that a lot of men don't realize, is that it might not be you. And we hope that it's not you. And that may not be your mentality. However, comma, dot, 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 we have encountered men who think like that. And it doesn't have to be full on, I'm trying to rip your clothes off and rape you. It's not that all the time. Those are the extreme cases. It's brushing up against you. It's calling you names. It's commenting on the way your body looks. It's labeling you and and talking to their friends and saying stuff, creating a hostile work environment. It's hey niece, you need to go and put some clothes on. Your uncle is coming over. It's that type of stuff. It's when you go out, make sure you have jeans on and don't wear shorts or a skirt, because you don't want a man to uh, um, be promiscuous, try to talk to you or be promiscuous. By the way, it doesn't work. It doesn't work. I've done it as a teenager. Daddy said, go and put some pants on. Yes, sir. Me and my sister and my brother went to the movies by bus. As soon as we got outside, we got catcalled. Me and my sister, teenagers, t-shirts, blue jeans, tennis shoes. It does not work, because it doesn't matter what you have on. It absolutely does not matter. If a man wants to come at you, he will do it regardless of how you're dressed.
Okay.
Now, what our second speaker said, he said when he first heard about it, he didn't understand it, but once he did more research and talked to people about it, he understood it a bit better, and he thought about his own family members. And I'm grateful that he put himself in the shoes of so many other people that encountered that sort of thing. But the thing is that he's saying that the number is small. It's not as small as you think, because It's not full on I'm trying to rape you. It's all the other stuff. It's the passing around of photos and videos. It's men that are recording and they're putting it out there and showing their homeboys, hey, look at this bitch that I recorded earlier. It's that sort of thing. It's the mentality that men have about women being objects. The, when women are trophies, they are things. We're not people to them. We are not people. We are not human beings. That is why I as a teacher, every year we have to go through trafficking training because our babies are being trafficked. They are being sold like cattle because they are objects to these men. Now, am I saying that it's only men in these rings? No, there are women that help them, but I guarantee you that woman was a victim first.
Okay. All right. Let's.
So that it's a lot to consider. It's not just all out rape.
Gotcha. All right. 7. What's up on what's been said?
I'm glad you called me, man. Thank you. And I just want to say, there's a lot of talk going on here today. Like, women are just so innocent. Like, women don't tell me that they're ugly and fat and bald and they're not tall enough and they don't make enough money. And nobody wants to hear that shit, honestly. Okay. Now, a lot of things that go on with women is absolutely crazy because, from what I understand in psychology, they tell you take your emotion out of things because if you put your emotion in things, it will cloud your judgment. Now, let's look at a lot of the things that women do that a lot of them do. Oh, let me just say this: a lot of females, because I know I understand that people don't like being called names. Calling somebody a woman these days, it's a little iffy. So I'm just gonna say females. So a lot of females, they make very stupid mistakes and they all do the same thing, right? And they're very emotional. So I can see a correlation between these things, right? And it's crazy because I seen one lady in the comments say dating is scary for her. But I could have swore she said in the last comment that she was dating a dude who's bisexual, and then one of her husbands ended up having like 8 baby mamas or some shit. It just sounds like bad judgment making going on here. Okay, now call me wrong, but I could see the errors here. I don't know how anybody else doesn't see the errors. Now, we're going to talk about this whole man versus the bear thing, right? It makes complete sense that women would choose the bear because look how women choose men. Most of them choose animals. So this makes sense. They want a fucking bear. A lot of them like dangerous men. You want something that's going to kill you. A lot of women want to get choked up. A lot of women like these things, especially Spanish women. Now, don't get me wrong here. I've seen some of the ones be choked and all this other shit. I've never done it because I'm not going to jail here. I might go too far. Okay, too amped up in the moment. But the thing is, we have people saying that men are hitting on them and passing around videos. Okay, men, do this. How about you operate accordingly? Now, I remember we spoke about people being essayed, right? Now, I understand it was said that it's not because of the way a person is dressed they were sexually assaulted. Now, it definitely is some of their fault because if you know that you're walking around a bunch of animals, why would you put meat all over your body? Dress accordingly. If you know something shady is going on with a guy and he could possibly be videotaping you, or why would you send him a video of you in a compromising position if you don't want him to share it? How about you just assume the worst? You know what I'm saying? Times of peace, prepare for war. This is just a psychological battle going on here that women try to become victims of because they don't want to take accountability. And that is a very hard thing for them because a lot of women lack the ability of self-awareness, just to dance in that spectrum for a moment. They don't want to do that. A lot of these women want to be able to do stuff, or like they fight for these rights. They want to be like men and have all this power that they think men have, by the way, and they don't want to take any of the darkness that comes with it, which is accountability. So the thing is, why would you put yourself in a situation that you know you're going to end up paying for if you know they're like this? A lot of women know men are dogs and still do the same things. So who's really the victim here?
Okay, all righty. We're gonna come to Jason next, but Poke, you not froze, are you? You still there?
I'm here. Can you hear me?
I hear you,
Yeah,
but your picture is,
absolutely.
is not moving. Your picture is froze. So I like, damn, I know he just awful still. But I'm gonna come to you after I get with Jason. But I just want to let you know that you haven't moved not one wink in the last 10, 15 minutes.
You know what? But the face they're showing is perfect.
Okay, got you. Oh damn. Okay. All right, let's come to Jason to see what's been said. Jason, what you got on what's been said?
Man,
Had.
I had a comment,
Oh,
string of comments that I was already prepared to make, but I'm not. I just need to. I want to respond to a lot of the things that have been said instead. I mean, I think that the groundwork
okay.
has been laid sufficiently on what we're dealing with. But my
Okay.
my biggest issue, personally, my biggest issue with the subject, the way that it goes, is um, the question where you comparing a man to a bear. If we're talking about a legitimate answering out of emotion, do women have a real fear of men based on a lot of the things that Chocolate Buddha laid out, that based on a lot of things that Phil Net laid out, based on a lot of things that Henry laid out? Absolutely. Yeah, we can make the emotional choice and say that the bear is the safer item. But if we're talking about logically, right? And if we're talking about logically, and I think it was a couple of people pointed out, it was Henry that pointed out that the number is not as high. And even though Phil Net disagreed, I do agree with him. I think that there's one thing, like Chocolate Buddha pointed out, that there's the majority of these offenders are men. I wholeheartedly accept that. That's mathematically correct. I agree. But when you apply the mathematics of all of these sexual assault offenders, and a lot of them, most of them, the majority of them are men, and you apply it to the rest of the men in existence in this country, then that number is a small amount of the men that are the community of men, regardless of race. And so to say that this problem exceeds the number that it actually is a problem. You have multiple times and multiple ways to find out that most of the time these horrible people, these horrible men, are frequent offenders. They offend. Chocolate Buddha can tell you same thing. They offend multiple times. They do things to build up to the heinous. We've had different varying degrees of sexual assault. So they start by doing things like the catcalling and the uncomfortable conversations, and it leads up to the more that they can get away with it. It leads up to the horrible grabbing a lady out of the bush and dragging her in the woods type of situation, which we all think is the most heinous way for something like that to go down. So I'm not defending any of that. What I'm saying is you're comparing a bear, which Henry stated, and I agree as a hunter, that a bear can stand up, even if it doesn't get up on four paws. I mean, some of these bears, man, on all fours are 6 foot tall. They would absolutely, we know we're not idiots. We as humans have known since we started making fires that bears will kill you. They will mutilate you. They don't care if you're a man, a woman, a child. They will kill you. So if you're asking me if it's the difference between a bear that's just in the woods trying to eat berries and the average human, ask these same women if they're lost in the park. Same scenario, they're lost in the woods or whatever, however it goes as far as the way this question is worded. Ask these same women, do they want to encounter a bear or a park ranger? Because most of them are men. If the woods turn on fire when you're out there camping, who's showing up? 90% of those firefighters, if not more, are going to be men. So we're talking about the fact that if I look at my family members, my female family members, and say, do I want them to encounter a man in the woods or a bear? I'm going to choose a man most of the time if all things are being equal, and that this is a normal bear, which we know how it's going to respond, and a normal man, because normal men don't catcall women. Normal men don't pass around nude photos of women. Normal men don't do these things that I agree with Phil Net do take place, but I very much highly disagree with the number and level of of participants that she is putting on it. Even in her own example, she used this 100 chocolate and the 10 of the chocolates are shit. That number works out to being 10%. You telling me that you believe that 10% of the male population, penis owners who acknowledge that they own penises, are horrible, heinous sex offenders, and this is nuts to me, number one. Number two, she pointed out how it's always male predators. Please, as a teacher, do your research on how many teachers today, this week, even last week, even are getting locked up for assaulting children, both male and female children, unprovoked, with no other participating parties other than them. So now, do I get to say that 20% of our teachers, women, are raping our kids, so we need to stop sending our kids to school? And if it's between sending my kid to school or putting them in the back seat of my truck with a fucking coyote, that's what I should be doing, right? Because I'm fearing teachers. No, this is a crazy thing for me to say, that I don't want to send my child to school because women are assaulting kids. But that's happening at a high and alarming rate. And these are all empirical numbers that can be researched. So all I'm saying is, I understand the emotional argument of it, and I do agree, and I don't deny that when we talk about these offenders, the majority of the time are men. Yes, what I'm disagreeing with is that the majority of men are offenders. This is ridiculous to me. And like Henry mentioned earlier, that a lot of men were getting offended by the conversation. I am one of these men who is offended by the conversation, because there's a lot of things when we go into, that's a whole different topic. But when we go into the treatment of men and women and how society interacts with us individually, a lot of things that should be equal aren't, and a lot of things that shouldn't be equal are. So I have my own opinions about those things, but on this particular topic, that's my biggest qualm, is that we're using a rational argument to say that we don't want our loved one or a woman themselves, like Finesse saying, I don't want to be around these predators in the woods. I get it. But we're also saying, oh, this bear is going to be calm and docile, and I like my chances against a bear versus, come on, this is not the same argument. It's not a fair comparison.
Gotcha. And before we let Pokey go, Poke the Bear go, let me thank all of the viewers out there from watching right now. Hey, I appreciate y'all tuning in to Wizzo Talk. We have plenty more to go. This is just about to be the first round. So I hope y'all went and got your popcorn, took a piss, took a dump, took a shit, because shots has been fired and it's about to get turned up. So make sure you click that link in the description to subscribe to Wizzo Talk, and click that notification bell so you make sure you don't miss out on what's yet to come. And Dr. Seventh, your hair is blowing in the wind, so just want to make sure you knew that. And with that being said, after this, let's get with Poke the Bear to finish up this first round and see what he has on what's been said. Shots has been fired. Come on, Poke.
Finally, Big Poke has come back. First off, for the real numbers, like no BS, no feelings, no emotions, real talk, USSC.gov. You can go to that site and filter for whatever crime you're talking about for the past 80 years. My numbers that were dismissed the last time I brought this up, I brought them back again. So let's start. Between the ages of 19 to 59, 94 to 95 million men in America. From 2000 to 2024, that's the most I could get. On average, and I'm gonna round up, all sexual assault, 60,000 a year, rounding up. And I'm going to make that 60,000 all men. It's not all men, but I'm going to make it all men. 60,000 of 94 or 95, whichever one you want to, comes out to about 0.06%. That is less than less than 1/10 of 1/10 of 1% of all men. Now, Buddha, and he is my brother, by the way, but you said numbers don't matter. If numbers don't matter, then this conversation would be moot automatically if numbers don't matter. Numbers have to matter because we live in reality. I know you know combat logistics. I know you've been on details just like I have. And the numbers was the number one thing you had to be aware of so that you could do your job properly. And I'm going to say to this day, the job that you're talking about that you've been in for 30 years, the numbers got to matter. Otherwise, it's fear mongering. Now, Phil, why did you do the stereotypical thing and move the goalpost? That's a rhetorical question, by the way. That is a rhetorical question, by the way. Because the premise of the question, and you can go look this up when it first started, because I got some research on that too, where this shit came from, was, would you rather take your chances with a bear in the woods or a stranger as a man? Meaning, and it was extreme. It was taken to the extreme. There was no nuances to it. Would you rather get mauled by a bear or take your chances of being essayed by a man? That's what that premise was from the get-go. And you can look up the original video, because I did, because I wanted to know where this bullshit came from. And it was very interesting that when you look at the video, at the original video, it was done in a party scene downtown in a major metropolitan area where women were going to hang out with men. Now, something else that stood out in this video was that all of the women happened to be single. Now, that might just be a coincidence, but I did notice it, that the single women seem to be able to say this, that the chances or the option of being mauled by a bear is better than just a random stranger. That's what the premise was. I will not allow the goalpost to be moved. That's what we're talking about. The audacity of anyone, this, and Buddha, this is when I'm coming back to you, to think that it's okay to say that you should understand why somebody could blanket you into being somebody that was sexually assaulted just because you had an opportunity is ludicrous. It'd be just as ludicrous as to say every woman is for sale. And what I mean by that is, if you got $50,000, you can go shit on any woman that's out there, because she'll take that $50,000 for you to take a full crap on her. It's a ludicrous statement. And it's in the same vein as, I'd rather choose the bear than a man. If I rounded up to just 1%, and not even the minuscule number that it is, even if I just rounded up to 1%, you're telling me that it's a better odd to deal with the bear than to take your chances that if 1 out of 100 men is going to do something heinous to you. Makes no sense. It's feelings, and anybody who's been around knows feelings are fleeting. Emotions are erratic. Then another thing, Buddha, you said, or it might have been thinking Henry, that women, no, it was Buddha, about the keys and the bear spray and stuff like that. I don't know. Maybe it's just because I was raised in the country, but I remember this saying being taught to me at a very young age: protect yourself at all times. And that was not aimed at women. That was fathers, grandfathers. My neighbor's teaching: protect yourself at all times. And it didn't have anything to do with only sexual assault. What it had to do was life can come at you hard
and fast.
You can take steps. You can take whatever steps you need to, but that does not mean that something can't sneak up on you. So you have to protect yourself at all times. That car wreck, most of us do not think driving on a daily basis we're gonna get in the car wreck. But I damn sure believe most of us got insurance because it's a possibility. Now, another problem I have is when we're trying to include catcalling and sexual assault in the same damn conversation. What the hell is even that? I grew up where if you didn't, you try to get a woman's attention, you wasn't getting no attention. So now, catcalling, which I feel like is a feminazi idea that has permeated our culture just to inflate black misandry. There is no getting along with anybody who feels like it's okay to dehumanize you just because you exist. There would be a fight with that. Those are fighting words. To call somebody a sexual predator, those are fighting words. It would be fighting words to say somebody's mother is a hoe, to say somebody's father is a sexual assault without them having done that shit. Those are fighting words. And the shaming language that is used to try to justify saying you should be okay with understanding that anybody can call you a potential essayer is ridiculous. Just like it would be ridiculous for me to say that every woman should understand that she can be bought and paid for. It's ridiculous. It's not conducive to any positive construction about trying to resolve anything that anybody would think is an issue. If we want to resolve issues, if we want to get a better understanding of what the actual issue is, then you cannot present it in such a ludicrous fashion. Women being scared of men can be totally logical, can understand it. Because I too would have fear if 10 Slink Johnsons was trying to approach me. I'm gonna have a problem with that. Matter of fact, one Slink Johnson. If you don't know who Slink Johnson is, the man said he's a warrior and booty is the most important thing to him. And he's free.
Right.
Now, I get it. I do. I'm gonna be right and ready for a Slink Johnson though. I'm not going to cower in fear or try to tell every other man that they need to accept that they are a Slink Johnson possible. Just like I know you wouldn't expect everybody to think your ass is Pinky.
Okay. All righty. That's a pause there. So Chocolate Buddha, I'm gonna come to you, but I Jason threw his hand up. So let me go to Jason. Then I'm gonna hit Chocolate Buddha, and then anybody else, there's no order after that. Just let me know. But I'm gonna hit Jason, then we're gonna come to Chocolate Buddha.
I appreciate that, and I'm gonna be brief. I want to take the liberty, if my man Polk will allow me to, because first of all, I agree with 100% of what he said. But I would also like to take the opportunity, because he pointed out the numbers of 60K. I would like to personally offer up, before Chocolate Buddha tries it or Phil Nett tries it, and offer up an additional 40,000 of unreported sexual assaults to add to that number, and we still don't get to 1%. So I just want to add 40,000 to his number for the sake of argument before anybody says, well, it's unreported. Let's add almost double. Let's add 40,000 unreported. I'm out.
Bet. Chocolate Buddha, come on with it. I got you next.
Right.
Seven.
I'm glad we on the numbers, and I'm going to talk about the numbers and why I don't think they matter. But I just want to touch on this first thing. And I'm saying this with my whole chest. If I look at you and I call you a predator, I fucking mean it. And I'm saying it with my whole fucking heart, because I'm not saying that shit just because you stand up to piss. I'm saying it because you shown some behavior or you potentially put somebody in danger, and I call you. I don't call anybody a predator just because they did a cat call. I don't even do that if they're trying to talk to somebody. But if you're trying to physically assault somebody, put them in a corner, and you doing everything to me defines you as a predator, before I put my hands on you, yeah, that's why I'm gonna fucking call you. And I'm gonna do things in my rules of engagement to make sure you're not successful in assaulting a woman, or if it's a man. And that's what I'm gonna stand on. If I have to die on it, I'm gonna die on it. So I just want to make sure I'm clear with that. I don't go around calling anybody a predator or anything like that. I do address behaviors, but if you that motherfucker, I'm that motherfucker. I promise you that. So let's talk about the numbers, because like you said, I've been doing this for a while. I've been doing this since 2005 officially. When we talk about the numbers, there was a time in the Army when they said, hey, we don't have sexual assaults like they say we have it in here because the numbers support what we have. Up to 2004. And you know why the reason changed? Is because the numbers that they put up was so wrong that the Department of Defense got fucking sued. And they had to come up with sexual assault prevention and response. That's why we had it. Even though the numbers that they had all the way up to DOD was proving that, oh, we don't have this problem, that lawsuit changed that. The reason why they changed the sample program to take the program out of the commander's hands was because before they took it out of the commander's hands, they had proof to say, hey, our commanders are fair and impartial, and there's no way they would just let somebody off if they were proven to have sexually assaulted one of our soldiers. Our commanders wouldn't be biased. They had the numbers to prove that until somebody showed them they were fucking lying. And then my last thing about numbers is I don't give a damn what numbers you show me. If I take everybody on this fucking panel to a club, I don't tell them how fucking majestic Jason is and how impartial all the brothers are on this fucking board. We walk into a club and we see a bunch of females and we walk into there, they're not going to see us as somebody that can protect them. Half of them are going to be fucking fearful until we talk to them and they understand, oh, these brothers are good, we're okay. Why? Because they don't know us. They only know their experience with other assholes that they met before. So when we're talking about these numbers, I got it. We got stats and stuff, but we can't go just by the stats because of what's been said before. So I'm not telling you that numbers don't matter, but it's not the only thing that's affecting this thing about man versus bear. And every time we talk about man versus bear, I hear the logical part. It's not logical that somebody would choose a bear over any human, man or woman. I got that part, but it bears a conversation. Why the fuck would somebody even say a wild animal that can kill you over a human? It's a conversation starter. And the conversation to me is this. We got too many fucking bad apples out there representing the majority of the good guys. And I say the majority because when I go out there and I talk to guys, because I give classes out here, I talk to people out there, and the majority of the guys that I talk to, they tell me, man, I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't stand for that. And the guys that actually do it, that come up on these reports that I help put in jail and get put out the army, guess what? It's not their first time doing this shit. They usually get caught after 7 or 8 or 10 or fucking 15 times that they've done this shit. And the reason that they got away with it is because somebody said, oh man, that's not my problem. We just need to let him go. Or he's like that. I don't want him around. Instead of saying, fuck that guy, we need to crush that guy because he's making us look bad. That's where the problem is for me. It's not that this number is inaccurate. It's not that people are choosing wild bear. It's that we're letting a small number of guys dictate what the majority of us guys are. And when we're talking about the black community, this is where I get the most pissed off. Y'all want to talk about numbers? Poke, I want you to look this up for me, man, because you're the numbers guy. Look at how many people out there have been saved by black men. Look at how many high-profile cases where a victim was saved by a black man. They got some high profile cases out there. Look those up and compare those to other men out there. If you talk to a lot of people out there, not your numbers and stuff, they'll probably tell you, "Oh man, if I have a problem, man, I'm running to the black guy because they're not gonna put up with that shit. They're gonna help me." They got all kind of little videos out there, and I'm pretty sure they got some numbers out there. And the reason I'm bringing this up there is that the narrative has been set a long time ago before this man and bear stuff is that we're the scary people. But in reality, we're usually the ones that say them motherfuckers. So I'm bringing this up to say that it's not just the man versus bear. There's a whole narrative out there that keeps trying to say we're the boogeymans, we're the scary people. And this shit has been going on since the Civil War times. And it's time for us to change it. This is just another iteration of who's the scary person. And it's a false narrative. And I yield my mic.
All right, and before I go to 7, and then after that, we either need to hit Phil or one of the other ones. I'll let y'all know so we can keep it going. Me, myself, about the numbers, I just don't even trust the fucking numbers. I mean, I know folk got them where from the USCC or USSC or whatever, wherever the numbers are. I know you got to believe some numbers. They didn't went around. They didn't did their stats. They didn't did their tests. They always recording something. They always checking the numbers for everything, even when we shop, who shop, what they shop for this and where they shop for that. That's even like the census. You know, you take around, you check the numbers for the census, and they say that white people are the majority, and it's 50 million thousand more Hispanics around here, and they are the majority and stuff. So my point on the numbers, I personally really just don't trust the numbers. And Dr. Savant, the seventh, on one of the other podcasts, I believe something said that as opposed to the numbers also. And when he was talking about fact checkers, like, I mean, who's checking them motherfuckers, you know? So I just wanted to make a brief little deal on that, and then I'll say some more in a little bit because I know I'm gonna get shots fired at me about the numbers, but it'd be okay. But I got to go to 7, y'all, because I want to make sure that at least everybody have 2 check marks before somebody get ahead of everybody. So so just take a note and we'll come back to it. 7, go ahead.
The first thing I want to talk about is how many people are talking about the how numbers are so disenchanting to them, but all use numbers. Like everybody use numbers in these facts things. Like, don't come to me about not liking the numbers now, man. You keep using them, man. Also, I need somebody to fact check this, man. Can we look up how many men that save women and overtime, and how many bears have saved women overtime? Can we cross-reference this, please? Because it's either me or people are fucking stupid. I'm really trying to hold together here, okay? Because a lot of this stuff, it really doesn't make sense, okay?
Good point, doctor.
I'm trying to get people to make rational decisions out here, okay? Now, we have people in the comments, and the crazy thing is, a lot of women want to talk about men and talk about, well, who's getting prostitutes? And okay, men been getting prostitutes. That don't mean they raping women. That means women selling pussy. Now that's just the facts of the matter here. Okay. Now, if you want to go there, let's look at how many women are selling pussy online. Okay. Like, let's see all the fighting that women done for these rights, and women are just doing sexual things online, always searching for validation, with their titties out, with their booty out. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I'm saying. Who's really the predator here? Women are using their sexual ways to do certain things, and then they want to complain about how they're looked at. If you don't want to be looked at like a piece of meat, why would you present yourself as such? This is what you're doing. A lot of women or females, they want to act like they're just these innocent people. At the same time, they want to be online with their booties poked all out, twerking, sucking dick, doing all types of crazy things, and then say they don't want to be looked at a certain type of way. But it's like, yo, okay, so y'all are saying that all men are like this, and it's been stated that all men are not like this, and I understand that all women are not like this, but you're hearing men literally say we be holding each other accountable. Where's the women holding each other accountable? Y'all don't really do this because women are all about feelings. You all be like, go girl, instead of being like, you're doing some whole shit. No, a lot of people don't want to speak on these things because they don't want to be looked at as the bad guy for some odd reason, which I don't understand. But a lot of stuff that goes on is directly related to what women do, and then they want to cry about how they're being presented. Like I saw somebody put in the comments, there would really be no porn industry if there wasn't for women, because nobody wants to see a bunch of dudes with their dicks out jagging off. Like nobody wants to see that. That's weird. Nobody wants to see that. Okay, maybe some people.
Yeah, I was gonna say maybe some of them motherfuckers.
It's
I
June,
don't.
bro. It's June.
Come on, man. Too many hardbacks and beards breathing on each other is crazy work, man. Okay,
Yeah.
let's just be
All
serious
right.
about this.
All
But
right, cool.
but seriously though, we have to start looking at the facts of the situation here, right? A lot of people do a lot of sexual things, right? But they want to be looked at in a very respectable light. Like, for instance, a lot of women at work wear very tight clothes and they're supposed to be in a certain type of field that helps people, right? But why are you in tight clothes if you don't want to be looked at in a certain type of way? Because showing off your curves and stuff are supposed to be points of attraction. So that means you want to attract, you want to pull it on in. So if you don't want to pull it in, dress like a man, because men don't dress to be appealing like that, bro. We just being dressed for what works. You know what I'm saying? If I need pockets, I'm gonna have a bunch of pockets. Women, y'all need pockets, but y'all looking for something that's tight around the booty. So yeah, I'm just gonna leave it at that, man. It's getting crazy.
All right, cool. And before I saw you, Jason, but what I need to do, I need to either hear from Henry, Phil, or Pokey. But before one of those go, I will say Seven when you was talking about what they were wearing from the little research that I did. That's what the women were saying, that they will be judged by what they were wearing and did they provide this and did they provoke it and stuff like that. So I just wanted to touch on that. But so I need who Henry or Henry? Okay, Henry.
Yeah. So I just wanted to come out. Like I said, I have a daughter and a wife, and under no circumstance should a woman be raped for any reason. I don't care
Right,
if she's naked in the middle of the street, in my opinion.
right.
And then the second thing is that I think that a lot of this comes from every now and then you get these every 2 or 3 years you get these tensions that boil over for one reason or another, whatever it is, and it circles around and it kind of goes. It's almost like a cycle where you either have it's a sexual related something, it's a racial related something, it's an immigration, and it goes into these cycles because there's boredom on the internet or whatever it is, and excitement and chaos builds revenue, and then that revenue turns around and has us all attacking each other. So in this case, you had the men and the women kind of going at each other because the men are going, wait a minute, we're safe. What do you mean you'd rather be with a, you'd rather see a bear than see me? You know, because when you're talking about men, you're talking about me, right? But I think that when we get to the root of it, the women have been taught in this generation through different cultures that to dress sexy is the way that they get the attention that they want. But then they get mad when they get the man that is attracted to those things. You know, like when I met my wife, the wife that I have now. When I met her, one of the things that attracted me was her intelligence, her humor, and her grace. Yeah, she's looking alright, and if you see her, you know she's looking alright. But so, but I just want to point out, um, but that is what attracted me to her, and I think that the dynamic with the people who are sexual assaulting the women, I've never had a guy try to sexual assault me, and I know I've looked good in some jeans before, but you know, so I think that, you know, they have these mental things that I think also need to be addressed as well. Is that you have these men who are raised, and I don't want to start pigeonholing into different categories here, but men who were raised in certain environments that were not beneficial, in which another man taught them what it was to be a man. And I think the more men we have leading our families, then the sons that are coming up, the less incidents of sexual assault we will have. So I just wanted to touch on that. So if anybody wants to add to that, that's fine.
Okay, okay. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna thank all of our viewers out there for watching. Hey, I appreciate the comments coming in. Y'all keep the comments. Even the guests can see the comments and they are reading them, I'm sure. So we keep them coming in. Appreciate it. And remember to share the live, share the podcast. I appreciate the support. And always click that link in the description and subscribe to Wizzo Talk YouTube channel. I appreciate it. So with that being said, I need to either Phil or Pokey. I need one of you guys to go next. And then after that, we're gonna come up to Jason after those two.
Ladies
So
first.
Phil.
Some very interesting things have been expressed, and I respect uh, the choice of your ideas. It is, I think that the idea that sexual assault is anyone else's fault except the person doing the assaulting is lost on some of you guys.
Who said that?
It isn't. It is
Let's let her finish.
the
Hold up.
choice.
Go ahead, Phil.
It is the choice person to make that choice. Hello?
Yeah, we got you.
Hello?
We hear you. Come on.
It is the choice of the person that is doing the assaulting, and it's not the woman's fault. Now, anyone can put themselves in any compromising position, but when it comes to men putting their hands on women and forcing them to do something or encounter something that they don't want, that's not their fault. It doesn't matter how close their clothes are. It doesn't matter how they're dressed. And I addressed that in my first statement. It doesn't matter what you look like. If a man does not respect you as a person, as a human being, he feels like he can objectify a woman. He feels empowered to be able to say and do anything to that person, then that's completely on him. You want to get caught up in numbers? Oh, it's not this many. It's less than 1% of 1% of 1%. I have a number for you. 0. The number's not 0. That's my whole point. You want to get caught up in numbers? Oh, it's less. It's not 10% of the population. I've got another number for you. 64 million. 64 million men went on a single website to find out how to rape their partner.
That is a lie. That was proven a lie.
Hold up a second. Y'all, we got to let her finish, folks. We got to let her finish.
But why are you trying to defend the idea? You're trying to tell me,
you coming next.
There's a difference in that.
You coming next,
come
folks.
out of nowhere.
For sure.
Okay, first of all, I didn't interrupt anybody. First of all, let's get that straight. You can have your rebuttal at your rebuttal time, so I reclaim my time. Now,
all right.
The number is not 0. That's what I'm trying to get you all to understand. Because it doesn't matter if it's never happened to you, but I guarantee you, you know at least one person, one woman that has been sexually assaulted. She may not have come to you and said it, but you know someone that's been sexually assaulted. It's not something that women imagine. It's not something that women make up. It's not something that women just think, oh, some random thought. I think that I'll just go for a walk in a bikini at 1 o'clock in the morning and just see what happens. That's not what's happening.
Okay.
And I'm talking about the normal women, as you guys were saying earlier, the normal women don't think like that. Are there women of the night that will put on a bikini and sell their bodies? Yes, we know that. And we also know that there's a risk with that. And you might not agree, but even if one of those women gets raped, it's rape. Because if she says no one time and it happens to her anyway, it's rape. Whether you think that she deserves it or not, whether you consider her a person that is deserving of not being raped, it is rape. So that's what I need you to understand. The number is not 0. That is what I need you to get. It doesn't matter what statistic and what website you go to, whether you believe the numbers or not. Because as a sexual assault survivor myself, I am always got my head on a swivel. I always have to be careful. And I always encourage the women around me to do the same. We always talk about making sure that we are making choices. Make sure you park where it's well lit. Never go dark places by yourself. If you can get somebody to walk with you, do. Y'all don't have to do that. Y'all don't have to worry about somebody doing that, but we do. Oh, I always stay strapped. Well, good for you. But it might not always be an option for us. And you're not going to blame for the fact that I'm not carrying a weapon as the reason why, well, you should have had a weapon, then you wouldn't have got. Nope, that's not how that works.
All righty. Let's after we gonna hear from Pokey and then Jason after that. Then anyone can just let me know who wants to go after that. But right now we're gonna need to hear from Poke the Bear, and then we're gonna come up to Jason.
Hey man, how we gonna have a serious conversation if lying is what we can do?
Church.
That's what I want to know. How are we gonna have any real conversation if we can put blatant lies out there? Can I just say 50% of women are hoes and we can hold on to that? Can I do that? And we hold up to that conversation and it don't deserve any scrutiny at all?
Wait a minute, that's not fact.
Hold up a second, 7. I think he was that a question where you just
that was a real question? Yeah,
me?
and I'm telling, and I got to pose that to you, Wizzo.
Well, I'm gonna tell you like this: I'm not fact checking nobody on this motherfucker, so I'm not fact checking your numbers, Jason numbers, none of y'all numbers. So whoever want to say what they want to say,
yeah,
who you can fact check that shit later. I'm not gonna fact check a goddamn thing. So anybody can say whatever they want to say freely. I'm not fixing to research it because I already didn't put my point out about how I think some of the numbers are, and I don't give a fuck who come at me about the numbers. Because I don't trust all of the numbers. And you can come on with it. I know you are because we coming to you about it. But I'm addressing Pokey question right now. I'm not here to fact check nobody. I'm here to let everybody speak however the fuck they want to speak.
I'm gonna play the game then.
Well, play the game. That's what we're doing. That's what we're doing.
Come on, man. Let's
50% of women love to lie on men, love to play the victim just because it's advantageous. We ain't gonna never get nowhere because it's just part and parcel, part of their nature. 50% lie, 50% lie, and 50% of them you can pay the shit on. We can't do nothing with that. Not a damn thing. Ain't shit we can do about it. Because half of them for sure gonna lie about it. And the other half, you can just pay them to shut the fuck up. Ain't shit we can do about it. If we can sit up here and just say whatever we want to say, we ain't got to fact check shit. Buddha ain't never been to the damn military. He lying. It's stolen valor. Buddha is stolen valor. Buddha ain't never worked with a damn SA victim a day in his life. He doing this shit for likes, kiggles, and hugs. And seven ass that he's actually Jesus. 7 is Jesus. He done came back. Y'all just don't know it yet. That's what that is. And as a matter of fact, I was the voice actor for Mr. Magoo. I really was. And on top of that, I'll be at your house with the sweepstakes. All you got to do is make sure you put the what's the name in the mail? You remember the clearinghouse sweepstakes? Yeah. Instead of Edgar Man, it's me now.
Yeah.
I do that. That's what I do now. Since we ain't got to worry about nothing being truthful. What the hell? It don't freaking matter. We ain't trying to have no real conversation.
Okay. Well, let me say this. Nobody said that nobody wasn't worried about whatever being truthful. I'm telling you that I'm not fact checking no goddamn body. So anybody that want to fact check whatever the numbers are, if Chocolate Buddha been in the military, then goddamn it, fact check Chocolate Buddha see if he been in the military. What I'm trying to tell you is right now, I don't give a fuck. I'm not here to fact check nobody.
Come see me.
I'm not facting check nobody. I'm here to we are having a discussion. And if you all those characters that you say you are, then goddamn it, I don't give a fuck. At the end of the day, the people in the comments can fact check whoever or whatever the fuck's being said. This is live and it will be on YouTube again. So if they have some comments just like you did the last time when I said something about I choose the bear, you went back and got all your numbers together and you came at me and I still said I choose the goddamn bear. I don't give a fuck what the numbers were.
Right.
That being said,
he's not real.
I'm gonna go to Jay, and that's your thought. I'm not gonna fact check nobody about whatever the fuck they say on here. I'm not fact checking.
He
I'm
voted
not
for
fixing to
Trump.
do all that. So you through poke before I go to Jason?
Yeah, I'm done.
All right, Jason, come on.
All right, I'm gonna try to compose myself, man.
Don't
Listen.
do it. Let that shit out.
No, I'm not. No, I'm
Don't
not
try to
upset.
compose shit.
I'm saying
Don't say that
compose.
shit. I know you will.
Compose from the point of I was really laughing at my brother Poke there for a minute, and because I really understand what his frustration is. But I'm dealing with real issues, and I wanted to start with you because it was a small comment, right? And that was with you saying that you didn't care about the numbers. I get what vein you saying that in. This is for you, Wiz, right? Like I get what vein you saying that in, but I'm telling you this: do you? As an example, when people say these things to me, I'm a very, maybe overly, clearly by some of my comments, but I'm a very logical thinker. I'm a very logical person.
You said that before, yeah.
And so, do you dispute your water bill every month?
I don't like my water bill? No, but I don't go down there and dispute the water bill. No, I do not.
Question is, they tell you how many times, how many gallons, which is however many gallons, a gallon and a half per flush. They tell you flush your toilet X amount of times and you owe us this much money. They give you some numbers and you go down and you pay them, right? So I'm not saying like the number. I'm not saying you have to like the number, but you can say you don't trust these numbers. But the reality is that the numbers mean something to somebody. You dig what I'm saying?
I didn't say they didn't. Go ahead.
And in general, this is no longer geared towards you, but in general, like I said, I knew that there was going to be an issue about the numbers, which is why I added almost double for the unreported, which Chocolate Buddha ended up saying in the comments, because I'm a firm believer in a lot of what these numbers are as they pertain to sexual assault, number one. And I don't even verbalize this a lot, but it was used, in my opinion, to add emotion when Phil Nett was speaking about her being a sexual assault victim. And I'm a sexual assault victim when it comes to a teacher doing something to you that they shouldn't have been doing. You see what I'm saying? So I'm also a victim. So I do have different thoughts in my head when it comes to, and I'm not saying that to try to do any kind of one-upism. I'm saying the reality is it's a lot of stuff going on. I agree with those numbers, but something she never dealt with was me saying that women were doing the whole thing. And she just looked into the camera very passionately so and yelled 3 or 4 times, the number's not zero. The number's not zero for women either. The number's not zero for women, but I don't run from women. And if I'm on aisle 7 in the grocery store and a woman is on aisle 7 and it's just us two, I don't take off going the other way because the number's not zero. Women are out here doing things too. And this is real convenient how we overlook the fact that men are these big, bad, heinous wolves and women don't have to have any kind of accountability. She got to protect herself and 007 down the side of her car to get anything out of her trunk because she worried about men attacking her. But women are out here doing things too. And I'm not just talking about teachers. I'm saying women are. Look it up, man. That's why I'm saying the numbers have to matter. And like I said, that's why I was laughing because I get Poke's frustration, but the numbers have to matter. The other thing that was said was she was talking about wearing. I never suggested that a woman wearing whatever. She brought it up and I'm adding to it. And I'm not accusing her of saying that I said this, but I want to add it to the statement I'm making right now. I never said anything about a woman of the night being dressed a certain way and that wouldn't be sexual assault if she was grabbed or done anything. In the comments, somebody said, let's talk about consent. I'm a consent advocate from birth. If I don't have consent, I've literally been on date 6, date 7 with a woman and had her say, listen, we can have sex if you want to. You see what I'm saying? Because I'm avoiding it like the plague because I need consent. And a lot of times I wasn't comfortable asking for consent. So I just stay away from you until you tell me it's time for us to roll. You see what I'm saying? So that to me is a bigger and more sensitive issue than everything else. But what my frustration, and I hear a lot of Poke's frustration is a little bit similar to mine, is this double standard that men are such the heinous, wild animals that we can't be trusted to stand in an elevator with anybody that owns a vagina, but women shouldn't be considered to be in some women, because I do understand, like I say, logical, that some women shouldn't be held to that same standard. It's women out here doing some heinous stuff. It's women that done the same thing, but we say that based on that we gonna choose a fucking bear. I mean, come on, man. That's why I say it's ridiculous to me. I yield. Anybody else can go.
All right. Yeah, I got I got Shock Buddha, but 7 threw his hand up. So let me get with 7. And Henry, I don't know if you knew it, but Spitfire was shooting something out there at you, was talking about how handsome you are and how he's such a sweet man and all that shit in the comments. So but he's married, so keep your ass in place. There she goes with that bullshit. I'm sorry about that. 7. Go ahead.
I believe him.
I just want to make the comment about Spitfire shooting at Henry. It's been known that Spitfire makes bad decisions, so just watch your back.
Very true. Very true.
Also, I mean, because look, you are married. She did say you was attractive, so that just goes to show you a lot of women like married men, and a lot of men like married women too. Just in case people can't handle the truth, okay? Let's not kill the messenger here, okay? Also, I want to speak on what Phil was saying, because everything she said was based in emotion. You know what I'm saying? It was so riveting. Like, she needs an Oscar, truly. Like, the performance was astounding. I almost cried a little. You know what I'm saying? The crazy thing about this is watching her talk, right? It literally showed me why we won't never have a woman for president. Because how are women such the victim? You go outside half naked, you're doing all this sexual charged stuff. Then everybody want to sit here and be like, it's not the way they dress. You need to be told yes. And yeah, you're dealing with degenerates, man. Most people out here take what the fuck they want. This is just the rule of the world. Look at wars. People kill people for things. They take things. This is human nature. Knowing human nature, why would you then not dress properly and go out into the world? This is even spoke about in your Bibles and stuff. You're supposed to dress accordingly. If you're going to dress like a prostitute, somebody's going to definitely rape you, okay? That's just how that goes, unfortunately. I'm not saying it's right. I've never said it was right, but we're dealing with animals. You have to think properly.
We're dealing with a bear?
No, I mean with humans. Humans are animals too. That's what makes it so crazy that women say they want to choose a bear, because women would choose the most animalistic man. I mean, let's just look at cartoons like Beauty and the Beast. We're dealing with women here that will fall in love with the beast and then try to change it. It's a fucking beast. Come on, man. This is what women do. This is why a lot of women will stay with a guy who beats on them. Women like that rough shit, for real. They just don't want other people to know they like it. It's just like lying to them. A lot of them don't mind being lied to. They just don't want other people to know they're getting lied to, and they don't want to find out they're being lied to. They perfectly fine with living in the lie, because the lie is just pacifying their feelings. The truth goes against all that. People don't like the truth because the truth opens your eyes to reality. A lot of people don't like themselves, let alone the world, for real, for real. So, saying that women out here are just victims, and I don't get it, because I just spoke on the fact that women's out here, they out here masturbating in cars and putting it online. Women out here giving head in McDonald's and drive-thrus and shit, putting it online. You know what I'm saying? Even if the woman ain't the one uploading it, a woman still consented to it, since y'all talking about consent. So they still doing predatory stuff. People out here doing all types of stuff. Like my man said, teachers are out here sleeping with students, men and women. Yeah. That's the thing, bro. Everybody can be a predator if you put them in that light. But the crazy thing is, and I'm gonna leave on this, most people won't see it like this, but it's crazy because a woman will only say a man is a sexual predator if she don't really like that man. Now, if that man did the same thing as a sexual predator to her, but she liked him, oh, it's completely acceptable. It's wild.
Okay. Right now we got Chocolate Buddha wanted to go next, and then after that we either after Chocolate Buddha we need to either have Henry, Poke, or Phil. One of them need to go next after Chocolate Buddha.
it is wild to me how the topic is man versus bear, and I keep hearing these excuses about women being predators and women doing what they want to do and men doing what they want to do. I got that. And again, we keep throwing the word consent around like that's a weapon. That is really like the bonus word of the day. Yeah, there is no problem with people doing consensual stuff, even if they are freaky in the McDonald's thing and they want to be freaky with each other, or consent to wear tight clothes. And here's another thing I'll throw out there for you. If they want to wear fucking tight clothes and have people look at them, that's their fucking business. My problem, my issue, my concern is when somebody takes something by force. They take it by force. And again, I don't give a fuck what anybody else thinks. This is my word. I'm standing on it. All men are not predators. And if there's anybody on the panel who thinks it's okay to forcefully rape a woman, we can talk later and we'll have a serious conversation, I promise you. But for those who do not think that, I think you need to stand firm in your belief and say you don't believe that. And I know because a couple of you have already said you would never take anything by force. Jason and I have had several conversations about being the type of men we are. We are type A men, like a fucking bear. We have certain beliefs that we need from our women to be with us that a lot of women don't agree with. However, we have a hard line with consent. We do not take advantage of a woman regardless of what they do or how they do it. We might not agree with what they do, but they are on that side of our door, and we have nothing to do with that. Inside of our house, that's a different story. And guess what? When they come inside of our house, and Jason, if I'm wrong, tell me I'm wrong. There's certain things that they have to do to be with us. That's not what I'm talking about. What I'm talking about is if they're in the club or in the street or in a fucking church and somebody's doing something against their will, that's fucking wrong. And we keep talking about man versus bear. The real question is, why are we allowing this to be the norm in our society? Because the fact of the matter is, no matter what a woman dresses, a woman wears, or how she acts, it gives no man a right to violate her. And I'm standing firm on that because I don't know who's been a victim advocate out here or who's talked to somebody. But in my job, I've never had to sit down with a man that was confused about somebody that took advantage of them sexually. And they had to play over in their head where they went wrong and why people keep blaming them to the point why they're blaming themselves. How their whole life has been fucking ruined because they thought they was with somebody that was trusted. And here's, since we talk about numbers, here's a number you can check. How many rapes are done by people that are unknown versus people that are actually known? Non-stranger rape, people believe is all the time is rampant. No, it's usually by somebody that they knew, that they trusted, and they fucking took advantage of that trust to take advantage of it. It's like 98%. I could be wrong, but you can look that fucking number up. Now, add that breach of trust to somebody that has to fucking recalculate their life. This is what we're talking about. And again, when you look at these numbers, it's not all the men that's doing it, but it's the men that keep getting over and over with this because they have convinced most people that, oh no, all men do this if they get the opportunity. And this what leads into this man versus bear bullshit. I agree. It is bullshit that somebody would pick a bear versus a man. But I stop. I can't go 100% because I know of stories of men that are fucking animals that actually set up a scenario to put a woman in a position to get their trust and act like a fucking animal behind closed doors. That's the problem. The real animal is not the fucking bear, it's the male predator. That's the issue that I have. That's the problem. And for people to keep making excuses that these motherfuckers exist is why we keep getting this title of bad people. We got to break that cycle. We got to break that story. And we got to stop believing that, oh, it's just part of the scenario. So let me get this, and I'll stop talking for a little while. Let me just put this out there. I believe wholeheartedly that we can be attracted to women, believe it or not. I believe we can see a woman and say, you look beautiful. And I'll give you an example of some of the things that I've said. Summertime, I love sundresses. I'll see a woman with a beautiful sundress on. I'll say, man, you look great in that dress. And because they know me, they'll be like, I know. And we'll flirt back and forth, and it goes. I can go in clubs that I go to, and I can say, you looking good tonight, baby. Buy them a drink, and it's nothing because I'm known in those areas. I don't go to other areas and say that because it could be taken the wrong way. So I'm okay with giving compliments and stuff, but only in areas where I'm known. Because if I say that somewhere else, that could be taken out of context, that could be taken the wrong way, and we can have problems. So I get what people are saying, where it's saying, why can't we give compliments anymore? Because they don't know where you're coming from. I can say that in certain areas because they know where I'm coming from. But in a lot of places that I don't know, I'm not going to take that chance because they could see me as a great guy or they could see me as a weird dude until they get to know me. So I'm not saying that we got to be these statues and not see beauty of a woman because they are beautiful. But what I am saying is that this weirdness of perpetrators going out there and putting up this facade and taking advantage of it has got the world so twisted that good men can't even give compliments anymore without some type of blowback because the bad guys have messed it up for everybody. And now I yield my time and my mic.
All right. Anybody?
Hey, yo. I want to ask a question to Chocolate Buddha real quick, man.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I just want to ask a real quick question. It don't take a long answer either. You know what I'm saying? It's short. 1, do you believe in principles? 2, did you serve in the military? And the last question is, when was the last time you ever seen the military ask anybody for some shit before they took over? That's your consent shit right there.
All right.
Number 1, it depends on the principle. Number 2, I served 20 years proudly and kicked ass. And number 3, it depends on what you're talking about because sometimes we have and sometimes we haven't. Boom.
Okay.
Anybody? Have you served?
7, he asked you a question.
I would never serve for the government because they don't love the people.
That's what I thought.
All right. Let's go. Oh, go ahead, Jason. Yeah, I don't have no order. All I'm doing is I'm just kind of keeping a little check mark because I don't want one person to been in commented 10 times and somebody else hadn't twice. So y'all just kind of let me know and we'll roll with it. But go ahead, Jason.
I wanted to disagree with Chocolate Buddha on one thing, and that is I am one of those men. I do not give compliments. I don't care if I go to that bar every week and everybody in there knows my name like it's Cheers. I don't give compliments. I don't say smile. I love sundresses probably more than you, but I'll never mention it outside of my home to anybody because of how toxic the society that we live in this country treats. And I love the word because it's apt. The misandry that men are treated with in this country prevent me from, I don't give compliments. I'm not holding doors. I mean, if you right behind me, I got you, male or female, but otherwise I'm not going out of my way because I've literally had women as I wait to hold the door say, I don't need you to hold the door, so I don't hold the door. You see what I'm saying? So this goes to my point, and what I really want to nail down with you in particular is, and I'm quoting you said the words, we are allowing this when you talked about these ill behaviors. But you didn't use that same energy or those same words when we were talking about women doing ill, the same crimes, the same stuff. Because again, my argument matches Phil Nett's. The number for women assaulting men is not zero. But you didn't say we are allowing these teachers to touch our kids, and we are allowing, because here's the other reality. When a male teacher touches a kid, they slam them, usually between 20 to 40 years, if not more. But when it's a female teacher, look it up. And on average, yes, there are some that have gotten 25 or 30 years, but most of them, and a lot of them, more of them than the other way, get probation or 5 years, or you don't have to register as a sex offender because that boy was 16 or that little girl was 16. And we saw the text messages where she told you that she wanted it. All of it, look at, man, I've been following it a long time because like I said, and it wasn't a one-upism, I realized as a young adult that I had been assaulted by what I thought was a high five because a teacher did some stuff to me. You see what I'm saying? Because I was a young boy, I thought it was something to be proud of. I thought it was a badge of honor. But I realized as an adult, I was victimized. I was at an age that shouldn't have happened to me. You see what I'm saying? And it wasn't in high school. You dig what I'm saying? So what I'm saying is I don't like, and I am very adamantly against the way that we portray these heinous, horrible pieces of shit that also happen to own penises, but we don't give that same energy to the women that happen to own vaginas and do the exact same thing. I yield.
All right. Okay. Henry?
Yeah, one of the things I also wanted to point out, and this is something from way back in the day. You know, I was facing prison time. I was running with a whole different kind of crowd than I am now. But one of the things that I can honestly say all along the way, no matter who's in front, is that and I don't like to think bad of people, bad things happening to people, but whenever, I don't know of a guy that when they hear that some guy raped another girl, got convicted and goes in prison, and then he gets raped every day in prison, they're like, there you go. That's right. Like all of them, I don't know of anybody that doesn't think that it's justified in that way for like, I'll give you an example. You were talking about earlier about the numbers don't matter, and I think that numbers do matter, but I think that they start to become a distraction. And then when you start letting the numbers become a distraction, whether it's 40% or 50% or 30%, it takes away from the fact that the men like us, like I honestly, I don't know your name. I'm sorry, miss. You're in the middle of the screen.
Phil Net?
But I think, yeah, I think that in generally speaking, the guys that I have met and that I have known, if any of us were around any kind of vicinity where we even thought you were getting raped, somebody's kicking the door down. You know, and I think that is what the true testament, we need to bring that back into the forefront. And we need to stop letting these people speak. And unfortunately, that's going to be caused by us men going above and beyond to where we provide a space that they forget what that's like. Not because they don't need to be protecting themselves, not because they don't need to use their smarts. You know, you don't go walking down the street by yourself at night, not only just because of rape, but because of robbery, murder, like there's a ton of other things as well. But I think that we need to get back into a space where we are looked at as the protector. God gave us the ability to provide, gave us the ability for provision. And I think we need to step up and take that as a space for everyone around us. So that's all I have to say.
All right. I really need to see if Pokey or Phil have anything. I can't see if Pokey trying to say anything. I hadn't heard him. Are you still there?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Do you want somebody else to go or you or what? Because you or Phil are kind of behind on the board over here.
Phil, if you want to go, you can.
I'm trying to see why I got two Phils up.
I'm sorry, I kicked myself out. I had to come back in.
Okay.
I don't know if you can end the other one.
Yeah, I will. But go ahead if you do, and then we'll see if either Poke or Chocolate Buddha want, because he just threw his hand up also. But go ahead, Phil.
Can you still hear me? Because I'm about to read something.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay. Since I was called a liar earlier, I am going to read from CNN.com the article, because they were the one that broke the case in the website. It says, A March 2026 CNN investigation series exposed an international network of online forums described by experts as a quote, online rape academy, end quote, where men use encrypted chats and pornographic websites to share instructional content on how to drug and sexually assault their unsuspecting partners. Core findings, the content. The network hosted tens of thousands of sleep videos depicting unconscious or heavily sedated women being sexually assaulted. The tactics. Group members exchanged instructions and specific sedative doses, methods to covertly drug women, and tactics to evade legal detection. The scale. While viral social media rumors incorrectly claim 62 million men attended the groups, CNN's reporting actually identified about 1,000 active members in a primary encrypted Telegram chat, while the central adult website involved motherless.com registered tens of millions of monthly visits. Real world impacts. Law enforcement action. The investigation resulted in arrests, including a man in Poland and police raids in the Netherlands, which resulted in the primary adult website Motherless being taken down by authorities. Policy debates. The last segment. The expose triggered international discussions and promoted UK lawmakers to reevaluate platform accountability and online safety laws. So, although I'm not looking for an apology, I am looking for the acknowledgement that I did not pull that number out of my ass, that I would never knowingly give information on this platform that I do thoroughly enjoy and do frequent on a regular basis with misinformation. As an educator and a woman with a master's degree, I am never going to put out information, because if something comes out of my mouth, I am going to stand 10 toes down on it. So the fact that you just don't want to believe what I'm saying, don't call me a liar, especially when you haven't looked up the numbers yourself, because clearly you didn't. And you haven't done any investigative reporting of your own to figure out what I'm talking about. All you did was see a website that said it was a lie, and you just gonna run with that. It wasn't a lie. It was thoroughly investigated, and it had tens of millions of views. I don't care if it was the same 1,000 men that went on there. It was millions of times. People went to get educated on how to sexually assault women. And if you think I'm being emotional, yeah, I am emotional, because I've talked to women that have been sexually assaulted. I have to listen about our stories about the babies that are in my school that are sexually assaulted, who are sold. And yes, women are sold. Yes, men will pay $50,000 for a virgin just because. So yes, I am emotional, and we can have another Wizzo. This is another passionate thing that we can do. We can have one about who is more emotional, men or women, and I can guarantee you, I can bring some 10 toes down numbers that men are far more emotional, because let me do it, because the proof is in the pudding. The proof is in the pudding, because a man that is not emotional isn't going to strangle his significant other. He's not going to take a gun to her workplace and shoot her down. He's not going to put air tags in her car and follow her around. He's not going to go to his ex's new lover's house and kill them dead. He's not going to take his car with his family in it and kill him. All of those are emotional responses to being rejected, or to being overwhelmed about the responsibility of being a man, because really it's just men who got bigger. They never really became men. And if you're going to support those men or just try to find excuses for them, you can miss me with that. You can miss me with that.
All right.
Because 90% of sexual assault against women is men. And that is a number that you cannot get around.
All
And in
righty.
that, I yield the floor. I'm going to have to leave you. I'm about to go to dinner. Y'all have fun. And next time, maybe we can have an all female panel about sexual assault.
I would
Y'all
love
have
that,
a
but
good
they
night.
just I can't. It's hard to get them on. But I hate you gonna miss
But
these
you know
comments.
what? Well, maybe I need to find some ladies for you. I can definitely do that. So y'all have fun
Right.
patting each other on the back about how men are the victims, and I'll see y'all later. Peace
Damn, she
out.
got to leave on that note. Oh, all righty, all
Hey, yo,
righty.
ain't
Bye.
I
nobody about to watch no show
I
for a
need to
week,
get
bro.
I need to I gotta go and get poke. I know you got something. You probably had something for Whitfield, but she had to go. So come on with it. We some of us are still here.
So I just want to make sure y'all heard her read that it was 1,000 men, right? Y'all heard that? Was I the only person that heard that?
Oh no, I heard it.
Oh, okay. But did you hear her say it was 64 million men before she went and looked it up? That was the part that I said was a lie and that was disproven as a lie. I'm still factually
Okay.
correct. She's not. And I hope you get to
Good
hear
morning
that
now.
part. I don't have to take nothing back because I know that number was incorrect. I knew that was a lie. I had done my research on stuff like that because it sounded ridiculous to me from the get-go. And her CNN article proved my point, not hers. She lied. And she did it because of misandry. Now, I put in the quote in the comments that, and the major opponent is gone now, so it's almost going to be moot, that y'all have not addressed my initial points about this being misandry. Just the overall cultural impact that hate for men is okay. Balls equal bad. Man equals murder. Male equals mass destruction. That's what the overall for the past 40 years, that has been the mainstream narrative that has been getting pushed out. This is why we as a group need to stop confusing leadership with martyrdom. We are not going to sacrifice ourselves for misdirected anger. That's not going to happen. Stop pushing being accountable when what you're saying is take blame for something that the vast majority of us don't, won't, and never did do. When you throw the whole, and it's specifically about black men, because again, at the beginning of this, when I said I did the research, this was from the palm-colored people. This was something from the palm-colored people. This was never a black thing, but black women get to latch onto it and then present it to us as something we should automatically understand. When even Buddha has said it, when you go look up, and I'm jumping points, but Buddha has said it. When you go look up and see who does the most action, it's us. It's black men. When you go, what would you do? That show, What Would You Do? If y'all remember that, like especially when the children are getting kidnapped, when the little girl is saying, I don't know you, you know what happens usually? 3 or 4 black men come out of nowhere and start chin checking some shit.
I've seen that.
Okay, it was one time, and it almost brought tears to my eyes because of how quickly, and all of them were from different walks of lives. There was a little boy, and this is only What Would You Do show. There was a little boy who was being solicited, is the best way I'm going to say it, with candy and stuff like that. And a dude was getting off the bus and saw it. Another dude stopped his truck because he saw it. And one dude was just coming up out of a grocery store or something like that. And all 3 of them, almost with pinpoint accuracy, zoomed in on that man, ready to handle him. That is who we are normally. That is who you will see the majority of us act as. It is never, this conversation, this whole point was never about whether or not SA is approved or disapproved. That's a BS straw man argument. It's not even worth calling it a red herring, because that was never what the point was. The point is that the man versus bear is a ridiculous statement and is based off of misandry.
Mm-hmm.
And the misandry that has not been addressed by none of the opponents at all, it's going back to use the, well, what about sexual assault? No, nobody's saying anything is good about sexual assault. Not a TT Tata in any way, shape, form, or fashion.
I got you, Jason.
Most men would run through some cat trying to do that shit like water through a toilet bowl and wouldn't think twice about it. And that's why it pisses me off that that's even what you keep trying to go back to instead of what the point of this conversation was, is that this is based on misandry, which is why it is wrong. It is based on hate for men. When the number one thing is that the most protection getting put on is by men. All right? There ain't a bunch of super women running around here going through fires to save men. All right? As a matter of fact, this just happened. Is a 7-year-old boy that saved his family from a house fire. Mama couldn't do it. Sisters needed their little brother, and he was the little brother. Mm-hmm. But he was dragging them out the house. It is not in any way, shape, form, or fashion, and this should be the last time that part gets brought up for SA. Nobody is saying that. And I see it in the comments, and again, y'all are not focusing on what the issue is. It is wrong to say that a blanket cover for men should be accepted, that you have the possibility of sexually assaulting somebody. Just like when I said it is wrong for us to assume that every woman can be bought and paid for. That is dead wrong. And I guarantee you, if you had a choice, if every man got asked, would you rather be assumed a sexual assault or assumed you could be bought and paid for? I would choose that. I'd rather be assumed that I'm bought and paid for. Because there's levels to evil. And we're talking about the ultimate evil, and it's being put on us just because we got balls. And that's what's wrong. That's where it's in error. You can never have a legitimate conversation with anybody who considers themselves stand up, believes in themselves, and would allow somebody to dehumanize them like that. If we know dehumanization is wrong, then it's got to be equal across the board, or we're talking about BS. Which is why I said we cannot have a legitimate conversation if it's based on lies. There was not 64 million men searching how to rape. There was not. And that's why I called it out. And this is what I'm calling out right now, is the internalized misandry that a lot of us, because we got raised on the Sally Jesse Raphael's, the Rolanda shows, the Ricky Lake shows, hell, even Tempest Bledsoe had a show, Oprah Winfrey, all of them shows were based on men bad. And because it's become a cultural norm, now you got people in the comments not even trying to have a legitimate conversation about what the actual topic is about. Because this ain't a topic about is SA okay? Who the hell is going to have a conversation like that? All this shit would get shut down if that was true. It'd be people. The FBI would be at everybody's door who say, "Oh yeah, I got just you." Like she said in the CNN, just like she said in that CNN post. And the international investigation happened once that shit got found out. So the same damn thing would occur right here, right now, if anybody was even remotely hinting that, hey, yeah, you Bill Cosby abroad, that shit's just a good day. Ain't nobody saying that shit.
You getting in my shit now. Relax.
Right. All right, then. All right, so what we got, y'all? We're gonna go to Chocolate Buddha, and then I'm gonna come up to Jason. 7, I heard you, but I had already had them. When you guys hear me say I got you, I mean I'm marking over here who I got next, but I got you. So, but go ahead, Chocolate Buddha.
That was a real passionate conversation, and I agree with you for what you're saying for the guys that's not doing this shit. But let me go ahead and piss everybody off. Sexual assault still happening, and the Men versus Bear is exactly about sexual assault. I deal with this shit every fucking day. I am passionate about this because as much as we have good guys out there doing the right thing, won't let this happen, will be protectors, we got fuckers out here that are taking advantage of women because of their perceived weakness and taunting the fact that they're good and everything else in life, but fucking raping people, and some of them are getting away with it, ruining lives. Luckily for you, you don't have to face the people that have been fucking raped. You don't have to look at them in their face and take them to a SANE exam where somebody has to look under their clothes ask them when the last time they had sex, poke and probe to them, and then take them to tell them, oh, you're going to have to tell this story again in court. And you can't leave anything out. And they have to talk to you, somebody that didn't even know them 24 hours, and tell this whole fucking story again. So forgive me if I tell you you don't know the fucking story like I know it. Again, when we talk about bear versus man, I see your passion about being mad about women saying that they choose a bear. And I get that because you're looking at it from a perspective that women should not judge you for being a bad guy when you're a good guy. And they shouldn't judge most men because most men are not bad guys. I get that. But what I don't get is that it doesn't seem like you're giving any kind of opening to the fact that we got bad characters out there that's not only giving good guys a bad name, but they're taking advantage of women. They're taking advantage of women to the point that women, when asked, would say they would choose a fucking bear over a man. And I can't change anybody's belief because this is one thing, and I've said this before. We can talk about facts and show numbers to change people's perspective based on numbers, but beliefs, we cannot change beliefs. So I'm not here to change anybody's belief. But here's the thing that I could tell you that nobody can change. I deal with this shit. I deal with victims. I just dealt with 4 victims today before I came here on this. This is why I still have this on. I have to deal with these cases. I have to go to bed at night and get up and figure out how I'm going to talk to these people and help them put their pieces back together because a man broke their fucking life apart. That's the part that everybody's not getting, and I wish that nobody had to do this. I wouldn't even want y'all to have to deal with this shit. And when people ask about my military career, I wish y'all could see all the years that I've done. But I wouldn't wish for anybody to have to deal with the cases where I had to talk to somebody and tell them, even though you were sexually assaulted, serving your country overseas, this person is not going to go to jail because there's not enough evidence, so it's going to go unsubstantiated. However, you still have to serve. You still have to do your fucking job. This is a tough thing to be in the middle of, guys. It's tough for me being a victim advocate in the start. I'm just asking you, just try to think how tough it must be for that woman to think about serving her country after this shit has happened. And believe it or not all of them get out and go crying home to their boyfriend, their husband, or their mama. They suck that shit up and keep doing another 15, another 25 years with this shit on their back. And they don't go fucking just blaming men, but they are fucking fearful of the next time it happens. And they pass that fear on. They pass that fear on. And when we see women that don't trust us or don't want to talk to us or don't want anybody to hold the door open for us, there's the why behind that what that just happened. And that's all I'm saying. There's a reason why we have people being resistant to us being the good guys. There's a why behind that what. Maybe one day y'all get to see it, but if you don't, it doesn't matter. It's still there, guys, and I deal with that shit.
Yeah.
And I yield my mic.
All right, y'all make a little note because, like I say, if we get to going, then you can always kick it back in reverse and go touch back on it. But right now, the order is we got Jason, 7, and then Henry. So go ahead, Jason.
I want to. Am I unmuted?
Yeah, we hear you.
Okay. Listen, man. First of all, this thing got off the rails for a lot of reasons, and I expected that. Number one, but number two, I'm not going to deal with any of my own personal opinions as far as things go. But everything that Polk said when he was talking about nobody here is in defense of SA. Number one, that's important to note. Number two, everything that Phil Knapp pointed out before she ungraciously left us the way that she did. that part is true too. Like, I don't have an argument with that. Meaning, I agree that website existed, and I agree that there were multiple visits by whatever the number of men are that went. All of them are bad. Like, I'm not in defense of these guys. The National Center for Missing and Exploited Children has a center. I believe it's like in Utah somewhere. And this team of people literally just sit there. And whether anybody on this podcast, anybody watching this podcast, anybody that's going to watch it later, anybody in the comments knows and understands this or not, the internet via the NCMEC will report you to your local authorities for even having a conversation that condones or suggests CSAM or any kind of an upload or share. If somebody send you a picture and they suspect that there's a child in that picture, and you send that picture to your phone, you screenshot it, you send it anywhere, they coming. It's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. If you have a written conversation about CSAM material and how it's okay, they're coming. It doesn't matter if you use the picture or not. If you verbally, like on this podcast, say anything that condones CSAM, sexual assault, all that, they're coming. It's not if, when. That is what they do. And I'm saying, knowing all of this, because I'm sure that my man Chocolate Buddha understands this, that he knows probably more than I do, that this is the case. My issue is you still, and I'm passionate about everything that you just said. I'm passionate about everything that you said about consent. And you know, like you said before, you and I have had multiple conversations and we see eye to eye on a lot of things. Where I draw the line, you got your line to draw. Where I draw the line is that you allow Phil Nett, and other people like you, male or female, because of your intermingling with, in whatever way, shape, or form, with these traumatic events that women are experiencing. And I also would like to add the men that are experiencing these, the boys that are experiencing these issues at the hands of women. Because of your intimate dealings with it, it is tainting your view of the male community. Full stop. The problem is that as heinous as everything that you've spoken of, as heinous as it is for that female soldier to have to go through that situation because some commander or some officer or some NCO that she had to deal with violated her in a vulnerable position, does that mean that all NCOs or all officers or all commanders are horrible people? And y'all's verbiage and the way that you speak about men would be the equivalent of us speaking about officers, NCOs, and commanders that way because of that reason. And it's offensive to those of us, like Pope pointed out, like you pointed out, like I believe Henry pointed out, would die for some of these stranger women. Not even us. This man just said he has a daughter in casual conversation, and he said he has a wife in casual conversation. And I'm saying that if I encounter his wife, his daughter, and whether I know that they belong to Henry or not, I would die trying to help them if something like that was happening to them. And that's most of us, so that we become very passionate about the fact that people are speaking about men, because you know what, that's me. I'm just average Joe guy. I'm nothing special. I'm just men. And speaking of us as if we are more dangerous to come around than a fucking bear. You know what? If I'm walking in the woods and I get injured or I get hungry or it's starting to be, nightfall is approaching, my phone might be dead, I don't want to hear a fucking bear coming through the bush. I want to hear a human, and I don't care if that human is male or female. If they can help me, if they can give me directions, if their phone works, that's what I'm looking for. And so I find offense with the fact that people are choosing a bear, because most of us would never. If you have an emergency that happens upon you immediately, I happen to know, and I'm not talking anybody's business, but some of the men on this podcast have minor daughters, meaning I'm not saying a specific age, but they're under the age of 18. And you got to say, I got to go spring into action for somebody else. You're not going to care if it's a man or a woman. You're going to say, watch my child, I got to go help. Because you know that most people are inherently good. Mm-hmm. But the way that we're speaking about these men is that we're so horrible that we can't even be trusted. Like you said, somebody earlier with the elevator, or at this point, we can't even go to fucking Yellowstone because we're dangerous. And I'm not okay with that. And absolutely, by the definition of the word, that is misandry. That is a hatred for men.
Two things.
Hold up, Chocolate Buddha.
I just want to clear this so I don't miss it, because there was two things they said, because I think part of the thing that was missed is that I never said there was a hatred, man. You said I was putting it out there like that, but one of the things I kept stressing was that the bad people was making us look bad. That's one of the things that I stressed. The other thing that I was stressing,
I disagree, and that's what I'm saying. I disagree with that point. I disagree
Seven,
that
man,
these
I got you,
people,
Seven. Just hold up. I got you, man.
I
got
disagree.
You. I'm trying to
that
get
these,
everybody to quit jumping the ship, but I got you.
You
All
want me
right,
to
go
stop?
ahead, finish, Jason. Yeah, let him finish there. I got to go to 7.
okay,
Sure.
Because he's ready.
and then I'll come back to it. I'm gonna write it down.
Get Henry.
I'm intentionally saying that I disagree, and I reject that idea that all men, or 80 or 90% of men, are looking bad because of these horrible human beings that are men. It's not right. That's all I'm saying.
All right, 7. Go ahead, and then we got Henry. After that, then we can go whoever want to go after that. And I'm making my notes. If I get out of line with who's next, I do fuck up. So just bear with me, and I will get you. You will get to say whatever the fuck you want to say. Just work with me, man. Just that's all I'm saying. Just work with me. I got time tonight, so this motherfucker can run till 2:00 in the morning. I got time. I will get you. I promise. 7. It's on you.
I would clearly forget what the fuck I want to say. I just want to put that out.
Well, you got to make notes.
I don't write nothing down, bro.
Well, then you got to remember that shit.
I got you.
Come on, doctor.
So this is crazy, right? So I remember I asked my man about principle, and principle isn't just an isolated thing, bro. It's a whole thing. If you don't believe you want people to take shit, then you have to believe that across the board. You literally work for a government that goes places around the world and takes shit. If you don't believe people should get shit taken, you shouldn't work for people that's taking shit, bro. That's how it go. You only advocating for people because women getting their body snatched. They're putting themselves in that position. Even though they being around people that's doing it, it's still getting done because you know people are animals. And that's the thing that everybody keeps stepping across. If you know people out here are dangerous, why the fuck would you put yourself in this situation? I'm not saying everything is your fault, because it's liable to happen regardless. But still, you pay for car insurance, nigga, you're not guaranteed to get in an accident. You pay for health insurance, you're not guaranteed to die or get sick or any of that shit, bro. So it's like, it's the same principle, man. If you understand how the world is, you act accordingly. The problem is everybody want to act like the world is fucking peaches and cream and they can just do what they want. In a perfect world, you still can't do what you want, bro. Because you know what I'm saying? That just means you're selfish. You know what I'm saying? Like, you have to acquiesce to the principles of society. This is what makes us different from animals. And this is why I keep saying humans are really animals if you think about it, because motherfuckers just want to do anything. And then complain when something happens. And then you got old girl who gonna start spitting facts, and she ain't the only one who did it. Some of y'all motherfuckers be spitting facts out of books, right? Who gives a fuck about any of that shit, honestly, bro? Books are just people's opinions that they wrote down that motherfuckers want to validate by giving it some type of justification. None of that shit matters. All the numbers she made up can be fake. So check this out. What if I say I was on News Weekly, right? And they wrote an article about how 25% of all men across the world are getting killed by random bird attacks. Yeah, nigga, that shit sounds crazy, man. You know what I'm saying? Just because you put a number to something doesn't mean it's legit. I need everybody to stop thinking with their feelings, bro. Think with your mind, please. It's a lot of feminist shit going on out here, man. All these opinions about motherfuckers not being victims and everybody want to be a victim and bro, it's shit getting weird, bro. People put themselves in these circumstances. The thing is, if you don't want to be raped, why the fuck would you go to a party full of dudes and you just drinking a bunch of liquor? The chances of you getting drugged and fucked is pretty high, bro. You know what I'm saying? But then you also got to think about this. How many people have been raped over time compared to how many men have died sacrificing their life for countries that don't give a fuck about them? How many men have put their life on the line and joined the military, right? Just to come back and not be taken care of. And they lost their legs and all kind of shit, bro. The world don't care about men for real. They just want to demonize men and then act like everything we did positive don't matter. That's the same way in a lot of relationships in life, right? Not just romantic ones, friendships. People they idolize the negative shit, and nobody really talks about all the positive shit that outweighs the negative shit, bro. I'm not saying throw the negative shit away. I'm just saying why don't never hear niggas talk about the positive shit for real, bro? Why it's gotta be a woman choosing a bear over a man? Like the bear won't fuck the shit out of you. I don't get that. You know what I'm saying? The bear will lock onto your ass and rape you. Ain't nobody ever been humped by a dog? Let's not act like animals don't do this. So just because you think a man gonna hold you hostage, I've seen animals damn near kill other animals and then fuck them. And they just play with the thing that's almost dead. I've seen cats play with half dead rats. Animals do shit like humans too. And this is why I keep saying humans are like animals. But we study want to guide around these things and just isolate things, man. Y'all not putting things in the categories where they need to be. And that's why I keep talking about principles matter. If you just want to go subject for subject, that's cool. But we're not looking at the principle of the whole thing because things fit in brackets. You can't say you don't want a motherfucker to get raped, but then you with a country raping another country. It's still rape. It's all the same thing. You know what I'm saying? You over here, you want to talk about people taking stuff from people. Let's talk about how America was taken from the original people that was here, bro. It's the same thing, bro. They talk about Thanksgiving. Y'all niggas celebrate that. That was about people getting pretty much raped. They was killed. They was raped out of that. If you think about it, mentally, they was raped out of that. They was drugged, got drunk, and then murdered. Motherfuckers celebrate this shit, bro. Motherfuckers celebrate all type of negative shit, bro. So it's like we have to think about the principle of the matter, not just what the fuck y'all want to isolate, bro. Because just because everything ain't say it how you want to say it doesn't mean things don't fit in with that. And it's bigger shit.
Well, with all that being said, Seven, you said you didn't write down nothing because you might forget something. I don't think you forgot shit. I think you said a whole lot of what you want to say. You ain't forget shit. So you talked for about 20 goddamn minutes. But I will say this right here. Hey, guys, Poke, you had to throw your hand up, but whatever. But I know you got to get some. But I got Henry, and I know that Arvin and Jason did. But I mean, give me a sign sometime so at least I know that, because I don't want to skip you because I know you keep
right.
something. But everybody go. I'm trying to have some order and shit, but I need to go to Henry, and then after that, Arvin and Jason. Then we come to Pope.
Yeah, so I think one of the things that this conversation also needs to be realized when we're having this conversation is the viewpoint of the people having the conversation. For myself, I work for a nonprofit that rescues traffic victims down here in Central Florida. So the things that I see are beyond heinous. We're not talking, a lot of people, they talk about sexual assault. Well, how do you handle it when a 7-year-old boy has been raped 100 times? Like those types of things, and who's doing it. And so from my viewpoint, I just want to just say up front, I'm not dismissing anybody else's viewpoint or anybody else's opinion, but from where I'm sitting, there's a lot to be said. Like, and I'll give you another example. When a Super Bowl or something, or some big event comes to a city, it doesn't matter where. If you look at the World Cup right now, I know that there's prostitution going rampant. And I don't know any woman that's like, yeah, I want to bang 10 guys tonight. I don't know a single woman. I mean, I'm not saying there aren't, but against their will, like by death. If they don't do it, they die. I mean, that's just the way that world works. The second thing is, when we get into these extreme conversations, it takes away from what the solution is, and it gets people fighting about all the other stuff. Numbers matter, but they shouldn't distract, like I said earlier. And I think that once we get to a place where we say, okay, as men, what are we doing? And I'll tell you what I'm doing. I know that I can't heal a state. I know I can't heal a city, but I can heal my community, starting with my family. And I think that when we step up and we show not just our family what a man is, but also all the other men and all the other, and even more importantly in some cases, teenage boys that are becoming men because they lack a father figure, a man figure, or whatever kind of figure it is that they need because they're stuck playing video games or being boys or chasing, whatever it is. I think when we stand up and we kind of say, look, this is what being a man is, I think that's going to change the dynamic quite a bit. But I do want to leave with this. I know we're talking about all the problems, and I'm a person that I like the bullet points, and then I want a solution. I kind of led into what I believe the solution is, but I'm kind of curious, what do you guys individually think the solution would be to try and at least taper this down? Because it's not going to end. That's a straw man argument. It's never going to end. Murder's never going to end. Rape's never going to end. Robbery's never going to end. As long as someone has something that someone else wants, there's going to be problems. So, but what do you think is the solution that us six right here can start doing locally within our own community to kind of try and spread the love, so to speak?
Okay, and we're gonna touch on that. So whenever y'all comment, then if you want to, make sure you go on and touch on that. But I'm sorry, Jason, you were after Arby, so it's Arby then Jason. Chocolate Buddha.
You sure about that? Because I had talked last. I think it was Jason, then me.
Well, I was going by.
It's okay. It don't matter. I got no heartache about it. I'm good.
Yeah,
I'm writing notes.
Okay.
I'm just writing the name down when I see the hand going. Come on up. So.
All right, because I had responded to Jason, but okay. I had a couple things I wanted to write it down and stuff. The first thing was Jason and I was talking about, men looking bad, and I keyed in on that because we were talking about how you don't give compliments and don't open the door. And that's one of my key points. Like, we should be able to give compliments and open doors and stuff. That's one of the things that I want to bring back because that's how I was raised. Open up doors, being able to do that without this feeling that I'm doing something bad because I was raised as a good man. Even though I was born in Chicago, I was brought up in the South. And that's one of my defining measures of being a good, strong man. The other thing, when we're talking about this, I think, like my man at the bottom said, how do we change the narrative? What are we're trying to do? Because we start talking about numbers and start digging in on what's our viewpoint. Again, me and Pope, we really are brothers. We've been going back and forth, texting, and even though we're yelling about our strong points, we really do like each other. We really want the same thing. And I think everybody is on the same thing with Poke about, hey, let's stop beating up guys. But I also think people on my side are saying, hey, sexual assault is fucking wrong. But how do we get to that intersection? And I like what you said at the bottom when you said, what are we doing to change it? Because humans are going to be human. Life is going to be life. What are we doing? So my thing, what I'm doing is trying to show what right looks like as a man, not just what right looks like in humanity and stuff, what right looks like as a man. So when I show up at work, when I'm talking to these survivors, I'm talking to them as what I think a man should be: a protector, a provider, calling out bullshit, not letting things go as, oh, that's just how things are. If somebody is doing sexist shit, I'm going to call it out. Not because I'm trying to be this superior man or trying to get hugs or likes. I'm doing it because I'm trying to show them all men are not like this shit. Don't keep saying that all men just want to attack women. We do not do that. And I'm going to be the living example of it, whether people like it or not. When I go out into the community, I'm that same person. Now, saying that, I'm still talking to other guys. I'm not just going to be one of these people because in my line of work, we do have people that believe the only way I could be a good victim advocate is that I can't say jokes or laugh at memes because I'm not being the right person. Well, you're being fake. If you're going to laugh in silence, but you're trying to put on this side, you fake. You need to be able to explain that. So for me, and Pope can tell you, he looks at my Facebook page. We laugh at a lot of shit, but I can explain humor versus acting out stuff. I can laugh at what I see on TV as entertainment, but I'll be damned if I'm gonna let somebody do certain things to other people. The same way with women. If women want to act a certain way and do things, they can do that because they have a right to choose and do whatever they want. But as far as like consenting to certain things, that's a no-go. As far as them being in my world, my orbit of doing certain things that I'm okay with, that's a no-go. There's level to these things. It's not just a one-word answer. It depends on where they are. But at that same time, through all that stuff, respect is a given. Everybody deserves respect. Everybody has their own life to live. And if I agree with it or disagree with it, it's still their life. I don't have a right to choose unless they're with me. And that's how I'm making the change, showing them that I can still be a person with my own choice and I have no right to change you. But when we're out in the world, we can still live together harmoniously, even if we don't agree on everything. Ain't that right, Big Pope?
For sure.
And
I yield my mic.
all right, so right now what I got down, I got Jason and then Poke. But Pokey have said it and Chocolate Booty said it. I'm not gonna get it right. But Poke, you just went sideways on us. But they have mentioned about us having this conversation, and I'm getting some feedback. And so, Poke, you might want to come back in or something, I think, because or can you mute your mic? Can you hear me, Poke?
Reading that text message you got. Text message that threw his phone off.
Yeah. Okay.
One moment, fellas.
I'll finish what I. Yeah. You sideways on us. Go. Okay. Yeah. Let me, Jason. Hold up, unless you just. I'm sure you won't Poke to hear some of what you're saying, right?
Sure. You know me, man. I'm easy. I take notes. I'm easy. I'm easy.
Yeah. Here he is. I appreciate it. Okay. So mute your mic this time, Poke. I think we get some feedback from you.
Nope. Still no bueno. I'm gonna try again.
Okay. Well, we've had, these guys have mentioned us having these conversations before, and at the end of the day, hey, we got one another back. But while we getting him back in before Jason go, all the viewers out there, hey, I appreciate you guys watching, sticking with us, keep the comments going. I haven't seen Spitfire post in a while, y'all. I don't know if she's gone or not, but we definitely appreciate all the comments. You subscribe to Wizzo Talk. The link is in the description or strolling right there across the bottom of the screen. And with that being said, I don't know where he's. Okay, wait a minute. Here he comes.
Okay.
Let me get him right quick. Okay, you there, Poke?
Yeah, there we go.
Okay.
There we go.
So what we got now? We got Jason, and then after Jason, Poke, we got you. Okay, Jason, go ahead. I appreciate you working with me, bro.
No. You know me. I'm easy. Let me start with 7, right? I try to brush easy, but I totally like, I get the vein that you make the comments in. You've made it at this point like maybe 3 different podcasts that you've made it on 3 different podcasts that if a woman is dressed a certain way today, you said that. And then you also said today that if a woman has drinks at a party with a bunch of roughnecks or whatever the situation is, that she kind of deserves what's coming. I 100% reject that. I 100% disagree with you because I subscribe to consent more than I can subscribe to what uniform a person is wearing, right? I've said before on this podcast when we talked about LGBTQ issues that if a guy with a full beard says to me that his name is Jennifer and that I should address him as a woman, I'm going to do so because whatever, as long as you do what I need you to do, I don't care. I address you how you want to be addressed. It's any sweat off my brow for me to address you a certain way. And it's the same thing when it comes to consent. Just because a woman puts on
PM to send me some bandwidth.
Just because a woman has a skirt on or some shorts on and her ass is hanging out of it does not give me the right to touch her ass or do something to her that she didn't consent for me to do. And there's no question about that. And there's no issue with me admitting that I won't engage in that. Do I think that should be counted as sexual assault? I don't know, but I'm not this. I do know this. I know if a lot of men feign, and I'm saying it multiple times so everybody hears the word that I'm using, feign. A lot of men feign confusion or misunderstanding when it comes to consent. But then if somebody tries to play in their ass, then all of a sudden they really understand what consent is and withdrawal of consent. All of a sudden you was down for something, and then when you was down for the BJ, but then when she take her middle finger and ram it up your hole, now you got a problem, right? So you understand what withdrawal of consent is when that kind of shit is going on. So I'm not one of these people that's delusional about how men try to feign the misunderstanding. So I 100% reject what you said, and I disagree with you. I don't care. Now, Chocolate Buddha said when he was speaking earlier, in my home, ain't nobody in my charge leaving my house dressed that way, because the rules are different. But that's my issue. That's for me, and that's for my roof. That's for my home. But that doesn't mean that if I go out to the grocery store, I 100% and may call home about how good the view is of that little skirt or those little shorts, but I'm definitely not going to do anything detrimental to myself. And that's where it brings me over to Chocolate Buddha, where I 100% disagree with you on that I should be able to do all these chivalrous things, because the reality is this: we grew up around the same time. And I mean, I was raised in Texas where my grandmother, I'm going this far back, there wasn't even the little infrared reader. You had to step on the rubber to get the door to open when you had an automatic door. And my grandmother would not step on the rubber if one of us, me or one of my two brothers, was with her. She would stand there with her purse, with her arms crossed. And of course, we kids, we running around, we playing with the gumball machine and everything else. Hey, we on the little horse that's sitting outside. Remember the little horse that was sitting outside? Yep. You could ride for 25 cents. Listen, and she would just stand there quietly and politely until one of us young men at 6, 7 years old reached in front of her with our leg and stepped on that rubber. I come from that stock. You dig what I'm saying? And I'm telling you that I'm no longer comfortable because of how the misandry in this country is issued out against me and other good men like me, to where if I just say something like, wow, I love your hair, all of a sudden I'm trying to essay you. I'm trying to sexual assault you. So I don't do this. So I don't wait on you when I see, oh, here comes a woman and I need to hold this door for her. That day in my world is gone. If it's not my woman, I'm not holding the door. I'm going to go in and she can have good luck. Now, if I walk out and somebody is bothering that same lady, I'm going to spring into action, because again, most men are doing the right thing all the time. You dig what I'm saying? The other thing that I have written down is when Henry said, what is the solution? My personal suggestion to add to that conversation is that I would like to see the solution encapsulate something that separates the accountability from the accusation. Because that's what I'm seeing right now, is a lot of these accusations are being lumped in with these horrible men with all men. I'd like to see a separation between the accusation of what us all agreeing that these horrible men are doing, because they absolutely are the majority of the offenders are men, but what they're doing does not make them a majority of men. So if we can separate the accusation from the accountability of what's actually happening, now you have a team of men who aren't being accused that can help you fight against this thing. Is that a solution? No, but that would be my contribution to the conversation of finding a solution for this problem. And my last thing that I already addressed was consent. And so I'll yield. I'm good.
All right. God damn, you some good note taking right there, chap. Okay, now that we got Poke back and we just sent him some bandwidth and everything and shit, we ain't heard from him in a while. So I know he got about 12 pages of notes
Hey,
over there.
and he's animated now. He's moving. He's talking. He's among the living.
Yes,
Right,
yes.
right.
So
I'm
Poke,
here.
we got you, and after that, I don't have anybody, so I don't know who might want to go out and Poke. I might say a couple of things, but Poke, what you got?
So, by the way, Jason, I like your presentation. I got to hear the majority of it, and I do appreciate you hitting a lot of good points. The brother in arms for sure. And Buddha, and while this is what we disagree on, for 100% sure, you are my brother, and I rock with you. And I think we said it previously that we would stand in the shit together.
For sure, for sure.
Yeah, we stand in the shit together, no problem. Like what I've been trying to bring up about the point is that statement and the way it's been presented, it is not about protecting women. That man versus the man, that's not what that statement was about. That's not actually the getting to feel the pain of victims of heinous crimes. That's not what that statement was about. That's what I was trying to make sure that the conversation was on today. The topic was why that statement is blatant misandry, because it defies all common sense. And the fact that the one other opponent that we had so surreptitiously decided to leave before we could actually get to the nitty gritty of it without ever addressing any of the points that I made is furthermore exacerbating what I'm talking about with the natural sand.
God, dog it.
Damn.
Shit, I hate when that be happening. It
That's
happens to
on
me,
them,
so I know
man.
how that shit be feeling. Poke, we losing you.
You got to get rid of Comcast and get AT&T.
Well, while he's let me send him a message. Shit. With that being said, guys, as far as when you was talking about what's the solution, Henry, you were saying you were starting at home or something, I believe. And I'm kind of right along that way myself, as far as starting with home with my grandkids, with with my sons and with my daughters, and so I mean, but will it help or whatever? But that's just me where I'm starting at. What? Oh, go ahead, Jason.
So I want to come. I want to come to you, right?
Okay.
I was surprised, but B, everybody's got their own opinion. When we had this conversation a couple months ago, whenever it was initially, and you chose the bear,
There's going to be a lack of respect given to that person because they look like a ne'er-do-well. And in the same vein that am I still here? I'm still on?
We got you, but we had lost you for a while.
We lost you for
well, I tell you, it's the bandwidth. Give me a second.
And you
missed all the points. Ain't that the bit? All right, let's try it again. Just give me one moment.
Oh damn.
He's coming, Jason. Go ahead and say.
Yeah. So what I'm saying is that I want to ask. This is not a comment. I want to ask you based on tonight's interactions with everybody, Philnet or Chocolate Buddha, Henry, me, everybody. What is your current opinion as it pertains to the question of if your daughter or granddaughter is going through the woods and encounters a bear versus a man? What's your choice?
Okay.
Has it changed?
Let me come there because it's not that short, but I want to make sure that we got Poke because he's on the road. Poke, are you there? Okay, we still don't have him. I will say this, Jason. I do have a little bit of a different opinion on it because, like I say, I wasn't familiar with that whole different scenario about what it was, what it entailed, and all that stuff like that. But to answer your question in the end, now I'm gonna go on and stick with mine because the when it was when I did a little bit of research and it was talking about how the woman will be judged. That's okay, Poggy. By hold up just a second. I ain't gonna worry about that. Uh, he pop it in, y'all. So I'm trying to finish, but he ain't. There he is. Hold up, let me get him. Hold up, and then I'm gonna finish. Okay, Poe.
Yeah. Go ahead,
But
Pope.
I don't know. But Jason, to answer your question, so I'm kind of on the line now, listen to everything and how it's been said, not and really trying to understand the whole.
You saying gives me nothing.
The
And
yeah.
And that's
The
all I ask. I mean, I don't even need an answer. I just want to understand. I would like to think that your mind is open enough that you've heard enough today to say, well, let me reconsider this. Because like I said, my issue is, and again, you know, we leave you out just because you're the host, right?
Yeah.
But like my issue is like with me and Chocolate Buddha were talking about is we understand that most men are not doing these heinous things.
Mhm.
And so the reality is, like I said, if I want one of the female types in my life to encounter anything in the woods in the middle of the night, or if they needed any kind of assistance, I absolutely want it to be a park ranger, a firefighter, somebody some general man that's out hiking with his family and is going to guide them in the right direction. I know that the chances of it being a Ted Kaczynski, you know what I mean, that happens to have a cabin in the woods and he's mailing out bombs to people. Those chances are so minuscule.
Yeah.
That my reality is that, like I said, maybe one of my biggest faults is that I think so much in a logical frame. You know, it's more logical than it is fictional, and the logic is just not there for me to think that they would absolutely encounter a heinous man versus some man that's really genuinely trying to help.
Right. And let me say this, Jason. And y'all, I guess while we losing Poke, and Seven's gonna have to leave in a little bit too, because he's got to go to work in a little while. So we'll make a quick round and we get out here. But to first, don't leave me out as the host. Please include me in everything. So I've had shots fired. I'm telling y'all, I go back and watch this shit. And I've had shots fired at me, and during the process, I usually kind of ignore the motherfuckers or whatever, stuff like that. So I mean, I ain't tripping. So by all means, don't leave me out of it. But in listening to what you're saying, you know, when I said that, I'm thinking that this motherfucker right here, the thoughts that my daughter may have, uh, um, internal from this guy, external, internal. I'm trying to say something here. Memories and all this shit from this guy, if he did any of this stuff to her or whatever. You know, I got you.
No,
And
I'm gonna ask you. I just want to exchange with you.
right, and that's where that's where I was kind of going with that when I was seeing that, and then like, well, if the bear fucking kill her, then fuck, she dead and it's gone. Then you got this other motherfucker over here, he didn't torture, now she got to live with all this other shit forever. Her mind, she been raped, he didn't had her locked up, he didn't done this to her, he didn't done that to her, and as the bear, either he just gonna kill and eat her ass, or it's gonna be a wrap. So that's kind of where I was with that, if that made any kind of damn sense. I don't know.
Of course, because that's the way the question is designed. The question is designed for you to think best case scenario bear versus worst case scenario man. And that's why I started by saying that comparison is unfair, number one. Number two, my hypothetical question is, ask yourself, because I don't know her, but you do. If your daughter is in that situation and the bear and the man arrive at the same time, who's she running to? Towards the bear or towards the man for help?
She's gonna run toward the man for help.
And that's my point, is that we're dealing with the average man, but they want to, that question is insidious in the way that they want us to inflame this argument that most men are doing these heinous things. And it's just not that way.
And you know, in what I read in the beginning, let me write you down. And when I said in the beginning, I kind of read the point where the woman was thinking about what may happen and if the bear did this and whatever. And then I read also about the men being insulted by the woman kind of thinking that or whatever. That was from my little bit of a research that I've done on that topic, and I still wasn't totally wholehearted with it. But Seven, go ahead, and then guys, we'll get ready to go on, because I hate Pope not in here because I know he be having some fire shit, but we all had that
Right.
bandwidth trouble. Dr. Savat, the seventh.
I just want to speak on the other hypothetical in the room that people just keep glancing over, and that's people are under the impression that the bear is just gonna kill you. Like that's not given, bro. That's not given. The bear could definitely maul the shit out of you and leave you there to suffer. You know what I'm saying? Like people keep looking past certain things, and I still feel like a lot of this stuff is being handled in a very emotional angle because even though I did speak about people going to certain events, getting drugs and stuff like that, I don't think none of that's right. I'm just speaking on the fact that people are animalistic. It doesn't make it right. This is just a fact of reality. And if we're going off the facts of reality, why not move forward with that knowledge to protect yourself accordingly? Is all I'm asking. A lot of this stuff seems to take accountability completely off the table for anybody's personal actions. This is all I ask people to look at. Look at your own personal actions. You cannot control what's going to go on in the outside world. We all know this. Anything is liable to happen, but why contribute to it? This is what I'm trying to get people to understand. That's all. Like I don't know what a pullback with it is, and I don't know why people fighting it so hard. Like, be accountable for your own actions, right? You're gonna lower the numbers or the stats of it possibly happening to you. And to my man down here, you asked us a question about what would we do individually. Man, kill people, man. People gotta die, man. You know what I'm saying? That's just the answer, bro. You know what I'm saying? You gotta start killing people, bro. That's the thing. Like the government know they be out here killing people in the military and all types. They know what's going on, man. You know what I'm saying? A lot of bad people have to die to make the world a better place. Unfortunately for y'all, you all want to hear baby answers. That's like trying to heal a whole thing, man.
Okay.
Oh yeah, poke that. All right.
Let me say this right quick to Two Flowers Boutique. I have invited women on. One of them didn't get to show up, and for the viewers out there watching now, and one of the ladies had to leave probably about maybe an hour ago. I had 2 ladies that were supposed to come on. I invited 4 ladies total, but I mean, you don't get paid to come on here. I can't pay you shit, but you're more than welcome to come on here and talk shit. I am not a monetized podcast, and I don't have that money for that.
Yet.
So
not yet.
Okay, not yet.
I fully support this podcast.
Right. So appreciate it. So when women come on, and don't show up, I can't. So I just wanted to make sure I point that out to you, and then just to touch with 7. Hey, you can stand on whatever you stand on. So if you stand on the essays and getting them drunk and doing whatever, I mean that's totally whoever. I'm just saying, and killing kids and killing people and unaliving them. That has nothing to do with Wizzo Talk. That is strictly the person that's putting it out, and that is him. I gotta go take some. Okay, y'all hold up before you go, Pope. Let me see, Henry. You got any closing comments before you get out of here?
Yeah, I am. I'm pleasantly. I'm leaving with a pleasant idea in my head that all of us are on the same page. We just said it different ways, and a lot of different viewpoints. And I'm glad that people didn't get really crazy out of it. But I'm used to chaos, and maybe I have to come back again to see the chaos, I don't know, but
please come back.
But I really love this, and I also wanted to thank you guys. So sometimes when I start speaking, I had a stroke. I had a couple strokes and a heart attack a few months ago. So sometimes when I'm thinking, the words won't come to my mouth, so I have to just pivot. So I appreciate the patience from everybody on here. This was really a great experience, and I'm looking forward to the next topic. Whatever it is, please invite me. I'd be more than happy to come on.
Most definitely. Hey, and I appreciate you following me. And, you and I talked off in the text several times before. I will try to reach out back to you when we get ready to have the relationship one or something like that. I got to get in the messenger and try to schedule it and all that stuff. But I will reach out to certain people to see about coming on there. But until the end, we're not going to hold you. I appreciate you. And we look forward to having you on again. Most definitely. Appreciate you.
All right. Thank you so much. I hope you guys have a blessed week.
Please come back. I like the variety when we have different races, just different cultures, different genders. All of that benefits the conversation. So I appreciate you being here.
Right.
Absolutely.
And I
Thank
tell
you.
you one more thing too. If you hadn't said anything, I don't think any of us would have ever known about
Right.
yeah,
No.
you
Oh,
stroke,
thank
the
you.
heart attack,
Thank
none
you.
of that.
I've
No.
been working on it. I've been
Yeah.
working on it. So
Thank
yeah,
you.
I've been
Good
trying.
on
I
you.
appreciate that.
You
Yeah.
good. Good.
So
All
take
right.
care, fellas.
Hey guys, and,
Yeah.
and before Polk say, and then after Polk, we'll have some closing comments. Just for the viewers that's watching now, maybe you may watch it later. I try to invite variety of people on the show. I get told no a lot, and I get stiffed on a lot.
You
But
get flaked on a lot by the women. Go on and say it. You get flaked on. You get flaked on. Say
well,
it.
Come on, Paul.
let,
Own it.
Come
let me
on,
tell you this
man.
too.
Truth
Let
How
hurts
me
many
sometimes.
look, we've been doing this for what, almost a year now that
Over a
about a
year.
year now that I've known
Yeah.
you.
Hey,
Yeah.
me and Wiz started. I drove from San Antonio to Killeen for the first podcast, my
Sure
boy.
did. Yeah.
That was over a year ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's been like three.
And I can tell you, as many times as I've been on, I don't think it's been not one time that somebody who was scheduled happened to be a woman flakes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Excuse me.
And I'm not going to disagree with you because they will. However, I will say I had this one guy, and I'm not going to call his name out. He reached out to me, Wizzo, man, I'm ready to come on. Bet I work with him in the text. You guys know I try to book and hit you guys up weeks out. And so the guy told me I sent him the date, the time, like you guys know I do all the time. He was good. The day before I messaged him, are you good? Because I be like nervous when I get messages come up and shit. Man, my wife taking me out for such and such for my birthday. You knew it was your motherfucking birthday when you said it was that time. But and I saw him the day down at this mechanic shop. I said, hey, whatever, and a long fucking story. But most of the time, it's
What
the
up,
women.
Kim?
So let me come on with Pokey. I know you got a lot to go, and after you finish, we're gonna get some closing comments and shit like that.
I'm gonna keep it short and sweet because I've said a lot. What can be heard, I did say the majority of what I wanted to say. I got a few more bullets left, but it was specifically going to be aimed at the women.
Right.
Since
I tried
none
to get
showed
them.
up, since none showed up, or none had the gumption to stay and deal with this hot fire, we'll hold off on that. I'm sure I get another opportunity to let loose properly.
Right.
But what I want to say, because the problem is not that men will not men won't stand up to protect the beautiful things in the world. Because I guarantee you, what's left beautiful in this world is being steadfastly protected by men. That's not the issue. The issue is that we need to stop confusing leadership with martyrdom. None of us, I think, are going to sacrifice ourselves for anybody's misdirected anger. Stop pushing accountability when what is actually being said is to take blame for something that none of us do, have done, or would do. Especially when you throw us black men as a whole under the bus for what a few do, it creates resentment and not fellowship. It breeds silence and apathy. On top of that, it builds barriers instead of unity and solidarity. And we're trying to get stronger community ties. That type of language isn't going to get us there. If you want protection, but you refuse to acknowledge that it starts with correction, we're never going to get anywhere. And that's something about what Seven be saying. Like, I know he says it in such a bombastic way that it gets missed a lot. But when he's talking about attire, for instance, look, if you're dressed like a cop, if you're not a cop, somebody's going to think you're a cop, which is why it's illegal. And if you're dressed like a prostitute, somebody's going to think you're a prostitute. That is the way the world works. Is it nice? No, but you're not going. The person that would think that way is not going to stop thinking that way just because it would be a nice thing to do. You can't shame, especially the good men, into protecting and using sign language, shame, insult, guilt, the need to be right. That's not going to get us anywhere.
Church.
You're going to earn that through truth, not the propaganda that the palm-colored people have been putting on us for years. This is one of the reasons I was so passionate earlier, especially when it was being fomented right in our faces, and that was the point of the whole point of this particular conversation. Mm-hmm. That's why I became so passionate about it, and I'm not going to apologize about. I'd look her in the eyes again and say, "Nigga, you lied." Okay, I just need to be that. I just need to make that clear. I would do that again, no problem, because she did. And when she went to read the article, it proved my point, not disproved it. It was not 64 million men. 64 million hits is a different thing. Hell, Drake got billions and billions of hits, and that nigga sorry as fuck. I don't care what nobody says. Trash. But he got billions of billions hit. They steady trying to compare him to Mike Jacko, but he trash. And I guarantee you 4 billion people ain't actually bought a Drake song. But the persons that leave Pandora on or the Apple Music or Amazon Music, if you got it on a channel that don't play Drake, well, every time a Drake song come on, that counts towards the hit. It's still the same person. If Drake come on 15 times in a day, then that's 15 hits from one person. It's the same concept with that website bullshit that she was trying to pull earlier. And that should be easy for anybody to understand. I'm getting off track because I had some more bullets left, and I'll get on it sometime.
You keep good notes, and we definitely gonna have you back on while PM over here these damn comments and shit. But we would definitely have you back on again. You know how you roll and shit like that, so we would definitely coming back. But what are we gonna do? I'm gonna go around. We're gonna get some closing comments, and we're gonna start with Chocolate Buddha, and then we work our way. Chocolate Buddha, what you got?
Well, first and foremost, I want to tell you that I like the camaraderie, but I also like the battle. You can't get to a transform unless you go through the storm. You can't just stay with the norm. So I appreciate that. It's a good way for us to know where we stand at. And I told you that from day one, Wizzo. That's what I appreciate the most about being able to get here, to force us to show our differences, but at the end, we still brothers. We're still locked in the community, and we can still leave with those same viewpoints without vitriol and hating each other. And for me, I'm still going to stand 10 toes down what I believe in. I'm standing my truth. I want the best for all of us, and I want to do what I feel is right, which is lead by example. And this is where my military part comes in. Nobody can knock me off my square. I'm gonna stand up. I'm gonna look straight with my chest out. And if I gotta die for what I believe in, so be it. Holding doors for women, giving the compliments. That's what I grew up on. And I still do that today, Jason. And every time I do it, brother, I'm gonna be thinking of you now, because I really feel it in my heart. It hurts me that you can't do that no more. And believe it or not, when I do that now, mostly for women our age and older, they're thankful that I'm still doing that. They're missing that, especially in our community. They can't believe that people still do that. And it's usually people our age that do it. So if I got to be the one-man army to do it, I'm going to do it. And I'm going to keep thinking of you every time I do it, because it hurts me that you have to be so guarded that you can't do it and other brothers can't do it. So I'm going to keep doing that. And hopefully it'll catch on. But if it don't catch on, I don't give a damn, because I'm from the 1900s. I can't change that I was born in the 1900s. This is the man that I was meant to be, not from my mama, but from my grandmama. And that's how I'm going to die. For our women, and this is not an attack on anybody, this is just how I see it, we got to protect our women, y'all. We got to do a better job at protecting our women. And, I talk about all our women, but especially our black women. For that woman to be on there with all of us men here and feeling attacked, I know we got to say our piece on there and let her know where we're coming from, but we can't let her leave with all these strong black men and feeling like she wasn't in a safe place. I really believe that we got to give her the business and let her know where we stand, because we all kings, but we can't let her leave like that. Now, I hope we have another conversation where we can try to meet at a meeting, because if we want to mend our community, we can't let it end like that. And the last thing I want to say is, when we were talking about why I didn't have the same energy about what happened in the schools with the teachers, it was because I was really focused, and you were right, Jason. I was really focused on the men predators, on the females victims, and we need to talk about the women predators on the kids in the schools. But I think that's another topic that we should have, because people glaze over it all the time, and it's affecting young men, not just in schools, but also in the military. That's a nugget that I will share later, but the shit happens and we need to talk about it. It just wasn't the space for it here. So thank y'all fellas for doing this shit. 7, yeah, we got to kill people, but not that many people at this time, bro. And I love the glasses.
Hey, Chocolate Buddha, just to touch on a couple of quick things. The opening the door, you know, my son's up in Chicago where he was. He's moved, he's somewhere else up there in the Midwest. But when he was opening the door for some ladies, and he has dreads, and there was some, as Pokey say, them palm colored people. And they were looking at him like, what the hell you doing? You know, looking at him kind of strangely, because I taught him that, and that's a long story. I just wanted to touch base on that. And then on the, you know, me, and I forgot her name. We had a podcast in Sexual Awareness Month, something. What's her name? I forgot her name. God dog it, don't tell her. You had turned me on to her, and she's a big advocate for that. But anyway, my point is, we talked about Tanya.
Dr. Tanya Jones?
Yeah, Dr. Tanya Jones. I brought up about how men has been sexual assaulted and all that stuff too, you know, and it wasn't just the women. But anyway, I just touched on those two quick things.
Hey,
because
quick shot, because you brought it up. True story. I held the door open for older white woman in Minnesota, and she turned around, ran to me, and gave me a hug in front of everybody. Couldn't believe I did it. Couldn't believe it happened in front of everybody. And she was like, I thought this didn't happen anymore. Try to have a whole conversation. I was like, ma'am, I was brought up in the South. This is just what I do. It's cool. We good.
Yeah. Already. All right, let's go up to 7 for closing comments on 7. Dr. Savat.
Hey, yo, first of all, you're doing too much stuff for women, bro. They don't deserve it no more. Because let's calm that shit down. You know what I'm saying? Like, y'all have to understand that a lot of these women, they want to be treated like wives. At the same time, they want to live like bums. They don't want to do anything. They don't want to provide shit. Stop trying to treat them like old school women and they new school hoes. You know what I'm saying? That's the thing. Also, no matter what's said on here or how we say it, I know that if we all were together in a circle and we had to fight our way out of there, we would have each other's backs to the death. So, you know what I'm saying? We just be on here just for shits and giggles. So I get all of that. You know what I'm saying? Still, I believe that motherfuckers is victims out here. Everybody want to play the victim role, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, motherfuckers don't want to adhere to shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? Where's the accountability at, man? That's the thing that everybody keep pushing so hard that motherfuckers just keep overlooking. Where is the accountability? Once you start making yourself the victim, you become your own warrior. You take responsibility for your actions, and then you can govern yourself how you want to. That means carry a fucking weapon, man. If you feel like you're... This is the thing, man. If all these women out here feel like they're so victimized, why are you dressing like hoes? If you know you're going out there with a bear, bitch, why would you dress half naked, bro? You look like a snack, so somebody gonna eat you. You know what I'm saying? That's the harsh truth of the world. I'm not, like, y'all keep making it seem like I'm with it. I'm not with this. The only thing y'all truly heard me talk about is killing people, and I don't even do that. I just let people rock with their own stupidity. Although I feel like some people have to die
be careful.
Some people have to die to make the world better. This is honestly the truth. Even the Bible says this. I don't know why people just demonize me, but this is how it has to go. You know what I'm saying? The crazy thing is people just don't want to see their actions. You don't want to look inwards. Everybody want to look out at everybody else. Look inwards, man. Change yourself, man. And then everybody who don't want to change, they just gotta die.
All right. With that being said, Two Flowers Boutique. Hey, I am Paul Wizzo on Facebook, and I'm always looking for women to come on the show. So by all means, send me a message to Paul Wizzo on Facebook and see if you would like to come on the show. I only have so many that I call upon, and sometimes they different schedules and different things like that. But we have a lot of topics, adult conversation between men and women, and I'm always looking for women. So by all means, if you out there or anyone out there, female out there that's watching right now, please hit me on up. I usually have the guys is usually ready. We just
Ready.
gotta like Jason said, ready. I just gotta get the women on here. And I had another point, but I forgot what the fuck it was. So with that being said, let's go to Jason for your closing comments.
Man, I'm trying to stop laughing at Dr. Savant. I'm sorry. Give me a minute. Listen. I mean, I understand why the women chose the bear. I really do. Like I said, if we're looking at it as an emotional argument, I understand that, and I don't mock the fear. I don't dismiss the experiences. But if we're being honest, almost anybody who is truly lost in the woods wants to hear a bear coming through the trees, man. Like they don't want to hear like that's a problem, right? They want to hear another human. They want to hear male or female. Like I said when I was talking about myself, the entire reason human civilization exists is because despite all of our flaws, human beings are usually safer together than alone with predators like grizzly bears, right? So the bear answer is emotionally satisfying, but the man answer is the one that most people would choose if all things are being equal, because that's our reality. Like most men are not trying to do anything to you. I mean, we're focusing on SA right now, but I mean, we're talking robbery, we're talking physical assault, right? Like most men are not trying to harm you. And so I think that if we realize that and we have a logical conversation, that we have to remember that, man. Like, and that's all I got in closing is I really do. And we'll talk offline, but you know what I'm saying? Like I knew it was going. I was like, it's not enough women, man. I don't want anybody to feel attacked or overwhelmed or you know what I mean? And so I have no negative. I have nothing negative as far as how this podcast went to say about feeling that. Yeah. I'm, genuinely, I don't have any negative emotional feelings about it, because I understand how it must have felt for her to be here with multiples of us, regardless of what that number is, feeling one way, and her and Chocolate Buddha stood his ground, but feeling a different way. Now, we have our reasons, and that's what this is for. But I don't like for anybody to feel like, and I'm not saying that that's what happened, but I don't like in particular how she left. And again, I have no judgment or negative emotion about it, but I hope that it didn't have anything to do with how the day was going. Yeah.
Right. And I'll definitely reach out to her. I'm sure it probably didn't, but that's what I was going to say, Jason, when Chocolate Booty was saying, protecting our women and whatever. Now, I think we can get them, the ladies can come over here and we can give them the business. But at the end, we got to go on and rock with them. That's why I don't want to directly attack them too much, even though they can handle it. But at the same time, it's because I'm telling you guys, it's fucking hard for me to get ladies on here sometime. And if we get a lady on here and then we got 5 guys just kicking the shit out of her, it's just they're not wanting to come back, and I don't want that to happen myself. And that may be feelings in it, emotion in it. Y'all can say whatever you want to. I'm just saying I don't want them to end like that or leave like that. Whether the palm colored people or our sisters, I definitely don't want them to leave like that. Because I want them to come on, I want them to voice their opinion, and some of them hold their ground. you know, and take our shit. But at the end of it, you know, we got to go on and rock with them. And that's just kind of my thoughts on that right there. I'm saying. And with that being said, let me go to. Oh, let me say this for Poke go. Y'all, I be slowing the motherfucker sometime. And so when I don't know if Poke said it first or Jason, but when y'all was saying essay and shit, I'm like, we ain't talking about no goddamn Mexican. What the fuck they saying essay? Like, what the fuck they talking about? And then later in the podcast,
Oh man,
I say, these motherfuckers right here, boy, I got to keep up with them. Goddamn. I
now
ain't
that's
bullshit.
funny.
That's true.
Yeah,
That's what I
That's
really
funny.
fucking thought.
That's
And when y'all
funny.
said essay, I'm like, fuck, Jason live in San Antonio with all of the motherfuckers. Shit. But anyway, y'all had me fucked up. I'm just telling you.
Oh man, that's
that's
crazy.
hilarious.
Let's get some closing
That's
comments
hilarious.
from you, Pope. I was serious as motherfucker, y'all too.
Yeah. So, Two Flowers, shout out, Two Flowers.
Most definitely.
So, I'll be nice and call it a debacle, but I do always hope that we have sincere conversations, and if a lie is presented as a truth, I'm gonna jump on that. I really am. Like it's not. That's not how we're gonna build anything. You can't build a foundation on lies. You cannot. Yeah, otherwise, it's just gonna fall. Now, I want to say this: I'm accountable for me and my sphere of influence, and I correct and protect what's in my circle. But I refuse to wear the sins of a stranger. Accountability is a two-way street, Buddha, not a weapon of mass dehumanization only to be aimed at the black male population. I want us to stop pretending like the same language and tactics aren't part and parcel part of the same agenda used by the colored people as a system of destruction aimed against us, because that's exactly what it is, which is why I'm standing strong when I'm talking about it. We are not the cleanup crew for pain we didn't cause and should never be treated as such. If, and I stress, if the goal is to heal our unique community, then we need to stop leading with the sign language. We will either stand together on a foundation of truth, duty, dignity, and honor to build each other up, or it will inevitably fail because those that would be called to duty and fight the good fight will never hear the call to arms. And I end with that.
That's what's up. All right, that's what's up. To all of our viewers that's out there that's watching right now, hey, by all means, get in the comments, post your comments. These guys, they go back, they read the comments. They can also see the comments you post on Facebook. You know, and we appreciate y'all sticking with us and rocking with us, and also like you to share the live. And if you hadn't subscribed to Wizzo Talk, the link is in the description. By all means, click that link, subscribe to my YouTube channel, and follow me at Paul Wizzo on Facebook. You never know what you're going to get here on Wizzo Talk. I mean, we may start to the left, we may end up over to the right. But you're going to get a lot of good fire conversation. And I really personally don't think that it's conversation that we just spitting shit out there just for likes, clicks, and views. You know, and you can tell by the passion that a lot of these guys and you know is speaking and firing out. So, you know, and they believe in what they believe in wholeheartedly. You know, so with that being said, I'm not going to be much longer with that. And Flowers, by all means, you make sure you reach
Come
out to
back.
me. I appreciate you sticking with
Hit
us in
him
the
up.
comments. Hit me on up, and so
Yeah.
we can get you on the show. And we're not going to ask you to turn your camera off because we like for the cameras to stay on so everybody can be seen. Guys, with that being said, I appreciate each and every one of you guys every single time. I hate that the women didn't show up. I'm going to call Cree name out because she was supposed to be here also.
And I know she ain't no punk.
No, and she
No,
did
not
hit me up
ever.
and say, Wizzo, I'm sorry, but you know, she had something came up, and you guys know I reach out like weeks ahead of time. I reach out so far and have you guys on so many different ones. Y'all be asking me shit. Is this the one I'm on? Is that one this? What's this thing? What's that? But you know, I have to do that to try to make sure everybody can adjust their schedules, especially Jason and Chocolate Buddha. I know Pope
Yep.
will stay ready and Seven also stays ready. And so with you guys, I appreciate that. So with that being said, this is Paul Wizzo saying holla at you.